and welcome to another episode of Nerdbauchery. We are here getting ready to get started in just a moment. Of course, my name is Tony, and we are here on Gen Con TV. This is episode 3 of season 1 here. This is the episode, the title is The Natives Are Restless. Again, I'm Tony, your DM. I'm going to let the players introduce themselves, and we'll just go down like we see in the screen there. We'll start with Eric.
Hey guys, I'm Eric Wahlberg. I'm playing Volric the Grey. His name is now spelled right, which is great. And he's a fighter and a bard, and he is a veteran of many adventures, and some of those might come into play today.
All right. Next is Chris.
Sorry, fiddling with camera. I'm Chris. I play Ayize Marley, and he is a Termetian wizard slash librarian and adventurer.
Next is Jack.
G'day everyone, I'm Jack. I play Sethreth Bloodtongue, a half-orc. Well, maybe not a half-orc, but we'll find out in the distant future. Barbarian, and let's have a great session.
All right. Next is Space.
Hey guys, I'm Space. I forgot what everybody just said already. I played Diora, the Dampier monk. I think that's what everybody said, right? I totally forgot. I just spaced out so bad.
That's why you're Space.
I was going to say
that is why I literally just spaced out so bad. And moving
Space
on,
spaced out. It's all good. Somebody get that in a clip. Next is Josh.
Hey everybody, I'm Josh, also known as Winged Horizon on Instagram and Facebook. And I play Dmitry Teslov, a reborn artificer armorer, who is a companion with Diora.
All right.
And that's about it for him.
All right. Next is Erica.
All right. Hello, I'm Erica. My character's name is Rin Swiftbow, and as you might guess, that means she's a ranger. What else? So, yeah, ready to play.
Don't forget to point out you've got some new props on your back there that look pretty snazzy.
Yes, got my Swiftbow has arrows for her bow.
Yeah, the bows do look cool. That is for sure. I do like the little quiver back there. Y'all are going hardcore with the cosplay. Thank you so much for all these cool outfits that y'all wear every week. So we're going to get right into it. When we left off last time, they had the battle with the harpies. That was over. Everybody pretty much crashed. It's the next morning because they've arrived at the Isle of Dread. If you don't remember what it looks like, we'll just pull that up for you real quick so you can see where they are at. It is a tropical island that just seemed to appear on the map. And this was like years ago they had found a letter, and now they've come here all these years later after finding this letter from Rory Barbarossa. You have to watch all the, you watch previous episodes, just see it. But basically they found the map. This mysterious island is here. It's the Isle of Dread, and now they are here. And they basically were right, as you could see, on the boat. So we're starting that. They are waking up. The boat was damaged from the harpies during the attack, and the mast is, all messed up, the wooden main mast, so they really can't go anywhere. It fell a little bit into the actual deck, so there's some extensive damage that needs to be taken care of, so they can't just sail back to the mainland anytime soon. So they are aboard the boat, docked right here kind of off the coast of the island, because they can't obviously get right up on it or they beach, so they're a little bit away from it, protected from not hitting the coral reefs. And that is where we're going to start. The team is on the boat, and the captain is walking up to them. Good morning, my friends. I see you're all awake. Volric and Ayize, Sethreth, Diora, Dmitry, and Rin. Did you all sleep well?
I think that's going to be so loud.
What did you say? I apologize. Am I too loud for you?
Yeah, he's a captain. It's what he does.
Thank you.
Oh.
Volric understands. I am a man of boisterous and loud personality. What can I say? This is my nature. I apologize. I have to tell you that we are not going to be sailing anywhere soon. I can't believe we even found this place to begin with, but with the damage it looks from the harpies and of course the main mast and the deck, we are going to need some lumber, at least some wood to cut. And the only place that I can imagine looking at the maps that you have shown me was it looks like the interior of the island begins to have a jungle. Perhaps there'll be some hardwood there. Of course, there's also the town, the little village that we can see here in the spyglass. But of course, being what the letter said about cannibals, it's a toss-up. It may be a safe village, it may not be a safe village. Who knows? But either which way, whether you go, you don't go, we've got to get some lumber. We don't have enough provisions to last forever.
Well, I have a suggestion for the group and for you, Avelio.
Oh, of
If you would
course,
like
of course.
If we would like to have safe passage in the support of these people, I think we should come there and give them gifts. Do you have, say, tinderbox, some spices, spare blankets, an intricate trinket or two?
That is
These are things that I could use in negotiations to show us that we mean well, we come in peace.
That is a very good idea, I think I do have something like that. Let me go ahead and hold on a second. Gohile, come here. Yes, hold on. This is a cabin boy. Did you hear just what he said about the spices and the tinder and everything? Go fetch it from below. Everything that we have and any other things that might look shiny. Not too expensive. Anything that's cheap but shiny. They will probably not know a difference anyway. So bring it up.
Yes, and this is to the group at large: Diora, Dimitri, Rin, Aize, and Sethreth, Blood Tongue. We may find that this is a place we will need as a hub, a headquarters, a home base of a sort. If we were to launch continuing forays into the jungle, we will need these people's support. So I have some ideas. Not sure if any of us can speak the language. If not, I have other ideas. But I'm interested in what the rest of you think.
Well, we're here. I guess it would be rude not to get the permission, seeing as they were here first.
Didn't the text mention cannibals?
I believe it did, yes.
And so you wish to offer yourself?
I wish to make it clear that we do not intend to be eaten and that we have other things we can bring to the table, aside from our body parts.
Table. That's an interesting choice of words.
Only half on accident, Aize.
Language will not be a problem. As it turns out, I do have a spell for that.
Perhaps it'll be a good idea to scout ahead and make
And
sure
besides,
to observe them. Perhaps we will show up and we'll see them in the middle of devouring or tearing apart another person.
Well, as long as they're not eating any of us, I don't give a shit.
I prefer not to anger or be chased by an entire village. I've done that before.
Well, so Rin, I've been with her for some time, and she's just about as good of a scout as she is at shooting harpies out of the air. Perhaps, Rin, you would like to scout ahead and see what you can find out about this this village, but at the same time, the rest of us should follow, not too far behind, because if things go south, Rin only has one bow.
We should stay in the shadows.
Well, at the very least,
So,
the toe has to come before the heel, so why don't we just grab a boat and get to the shoreline?
Agreed.
All
I
right.
take the items from Avelio. I give him a elbow bump, and we're off.
All right, there is a boat for you that will take you to the mainland. Make sure you pull it on shore so it's safe. Other than that, good luck. I wish you the best, and may you be safe with the powers. And with that, you have the boat, and you kind of, it's not like a bad condition boat, but it's not like the best of boats. As you can see there on screen, it has a nice little light on the front, little lantern, so in case it does get dark and you're at night, at least you have something to somewhat see what's ahead of you. And you begin to make your way towards the mainland. As you can see, it's a tropical island. It's hot. It's obviously very, very humid, as you can see by the jungle. And you arrive right there on the island, and as you get there, you now are right on the island, and we'll just say you've got Rin in the front of you, you said? She's the one leading?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Rin, go ahead. I'll let you speak for yourself.
Yeah, so now we're off the boat onto land, right?
Yep.
All right, so gonna be scouting ahead while having, I'm gonna send Bert out even a little bit ahead of me. I don't think I can talk to animals without doing a spell right now. I can.
Yeah, you do have a spell. It's once per day.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure.
Ranger.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's enough to waste it right now, but I think for now I'll just have Bert ahead of me.
Okay.
I'm gonna just be sneaking ahead.
Okay, so with Bert flying, that gives you a bonus, if I'm not mistaken, on perception checks. With Bert, for sight, because he at least has the bonus. So any rolls with Bert or anything like that, he gets advantage on perception checks looking for things. And so Bert is up flying ahead. Do you want him to look at anything in particular, or is he just kind of like deployed scanning, doing a general scan?
Yeah, just generally looking for people. Okay. Animals, unless they're monsters, not so important. Mostly looking for any people.
I can help you out. I'm pretty good at tracking. Have a look around. I can be quiet when needed.
All right, so go ahead and give me a perception roll for Bert anyway. Just go ahead and roll perception for Bert. So we can see how good his eyes are as he's looking around and scanning the horizon.
Is Bert related to Ernie at all?
Maybe.
If I get a second pet, then maybe he'll... Sorry, searching. I'll just do normal roll for Bert.
So Bert has a perception. It's already calculated in there for you.
Yeah, it should already be rolled.
Yeah.
Well, he is a falcon, but...
No, you rolled a 4.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's with advantage?
No advantage. You roll again for advantage.
Yeah, because it's with anything visual, because it has bonus advantage on perception checks.
Oh. Well, now that I had 2.
22.
All right, so obviously Bert can see very well into the area. He can see the town in the distance over there. So he can see, let me see if I have it right here. So he sees the town. Well, not the town, but it's like a little native village with some huts and everything. You can see it right here on screen right now. He can see that. He can't really see any people from this distance. So it's a little bit away, a few miles it would take. But, obviously Bert with his, he's a falcon. So his vision, he can see quite a little while. So he can see that village in the distance way over there. But no people per se right now. And then obviously he sees the jungle itself. You've got just, the basic jungle right here ahead of you and everything else. How fast do you all want to travel, by the way? If you're traveling at a fast pace, you're going to take a hit to, I'll tell you right now, depending on where you're going.
We're definitely going walking speed because we have a stealthing ranger in front of us, and we also don't want to overtake her.
Okay. Well, if you're
Surely at this stage we're
stealthing,
not-
then you're moving at a
Surely-
slow speed. So you'll be able to cover 3 hexes per day on the map that we have, and we'll just pull that. You see if I can pull that map up for our viewers.
Surely at this stage we're not in a rush, right?
All right. So
No need to waste it.
Yes.
Energy when we don't need to.
So yeah, you can travel 3 hexes per day if you're stealthing, and that helps you possibly avoid some encounters. And also, you'll be able, by traveling at that slow pace, you'll be able to map automatically the hexes around it. So if you're moving at that slow pace, right now you can go ahead and obviously most of it's already filled in for you already. You've got the hex with the town. You've got the hex. There's a little trail right there, the little dots that you see going down right there from the southeastern part of the island. Those little dots are actually a trail. So you can see that hex around you, the water hex, and the town hex right now that you're traveling to. So are you going to the town, or are you just going to head into the jungle, or, you know, or are you going to head and follow the trail? Trail
And
southward.
assuming that I'm still a little bit up ahead of the group, I want to come back and report that there's what looks like a town with no people.
Okay.
Empty? Odd.
Very odd.
Was there a fire?
Was there, Mr. DM?
A fire?
I'm asking just because is it just image? Is it for the ambiance, or is it actually? Did I actually see a fire?
No, there was yes, you did see like a burning there was a burning pyre. It looks like a large burning pyre, as you can see right there. Was there.
Well, they
Well,
couldn't
since
have
I-
gone too far if they left a fire behind.
I wouldn't be surprised if they know we're here and they're waiting to greet us.
Yes, I agree. Perhaps they had their own scouts and they do not wish to be found.
So should we just go make ourselves at home and wait, or there's no
Well-
use trying to find them in this?
Leave the gifts and depart.
Typically, it's usually good manners to introduce yourself, or at least announce yourself if you're approaching a strange place. Why don't we just go to the outskirts of the village, announce ourselves, and if there's no reply, then we'll see where we go from there.
Yes. In
I'd
my
rather
estimation,
approach than be approached.
yes, in my estimation, the whole goal of the scouting was to make sure we didn't see the villagers feasting on the brain of some hapless tourist. Since we don't see that, at least we can say there's a possibility that they're amiable.
Yes, they will not eat our heads.
In my homeland, it's customary that when tribes come across other tribes, that you wait on the border in plain sight until you get approached.
Excellent idea, my friend. Excellent idea. So, in that case, Tony, I
Yes.
think we would like to come up to, say, within, I don't know, a quarter mile of the place and wait. If everyone else is cool with that. And Rin, of course, you should definitely hide.
Okay.
With me.
Whoever is leading the party, that is the person that's going to be I'm going to be basing all perception stuff of. So who is going to be leading Ranger? Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I'm happy with being the first. I'm not sure if, as a group, we want to plan for me to be the first contact, though.
You mean leader is in charge or point?
Just perception. It doesn't mean they're going to meet you. They have to like meet you first, Rin. It's more just like survival stuff. Like whoever is best at being in this environment, I guess, whoever you want to be doing that.
Yeah. I'll just, good first impressions, guys. I'll go ahead and continue to stealth ahead
All right. So
with Bert's help.
go ahead and give me a stealth roll, please.
stealth roll?
Yep. And just tell me what you got.
It's normal.
Yep, normal.
Thank
All
you
right.
for allowing me.
So you
Constantly
feel
double-check.
stealthy. You feel very stealthy. All right, so y'all are marching down. Again, this island, the heat, it's pretty humid. You'd estimate it's about 88 degrees, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's pretty hot. You're sweating. You got the sounds of the jungle here. Let me put that on here. All right. So as you're going, you're continuing your march, the first little bit, you're walking through the jungle. And as you get to, hold on, and you're approaching and beginning to look over, you actually get to the village. And you're able to look again. You're looking now. You're able to see close enough so you can see all the village. And now it's that you're actually closer to it. You can see that there's some totems. It's got the fire. There's another totem on the other side of it. So you are able to see all that. And let's get you here. Hold on. DM is looking for something here. Okay.
Either good or bad.
Either good or bad, but the DM's looking for some. Hey, you know it's only bad if I start breaking out dice. If I start doing a bunch of rolls, then we're trouble.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, evil left.
Go ahead and this is for everyone this time though. Everyone give me a perception roll, and I'm gonna roll a stealth roll right now. Oh, I said stealth. Give you a hint. What could be there?
I'm pretty far back if I could be, and I'm also wearing defender or guardian armor. I'd change it over the rest.
So, Jack, and well, not Jack. Sethreth, Ayize, Dimitri. Oh, not Dimitri.
Sorry to keep asking. Is it with or without advantage for Rin?
Without.
Yeah, without.
Oh, yeah.
Falcon.
Oh,
Ooh, poor Bryn.
oh,
So Bryn doesn't
censoring
see.
myself.
If you didn't see
But
anything,
you feel stealthy anyway. This is just you stealthy. I guess why you're stealthing ahead of everybody, you're more interested in looking at the ground and the leaves and stuff. I don't know. I mean,
I'm just enjoying nature.
Yeah, no, it's so nice
As I
out.
said, I'll be assisting her, so I'll be not far behind her. So while she's looking down, I'm probably looking more up around.
All
So
right.
in the lineup, you're the closest to me.
Well, all the people that scored above the what did I roll, a 14 there? That scored higher than a 14, you all notice that there's like you see colored feathers like moving in and about inside the trees themselves, like all of a sudden just moving from side to side. And you also notice some legs, but you just catch like they're running like like side to side on each side of you. And some behind
that's
of you.
Adorable. They're hiding from us.
I try and get Rin's attention. Rin.
Yeah, I tap Dimitri and Volric, and I point to the trees.
So I get Rin's attention, let him know.
Am I able to see that?
Oh, you don't notice that. You're enjoying nature. You got a 5, so
no,
you're.
I mean, do I notice Sethrith trying to get my attention?
Oh, Sethreth, go ahead and we'll do another perception roll to see if you notice Sethreth. Just do another 14. Beat a 14 and you notice Sethreth. Give me another perception there, Rin. Let's hope you're really not looking at the flowers today.
Come on.
Come on, Rin.
Like after I used all my good rolls last time. Okay.
Oh, okay. So you notice Sethreth is kind of like, he's not yelling because he knows your stuff. He's kind of like just
doing a lot of hand signals. And do I see what's going on in the tree lines?
And right as they do that, you actually see coming out of the tree line is these men, these people. Some of them have like masks made of wood with holes in them, and they have brightly colored paint on their masks. Other of them have feathered headdresses that they're wearing, and some of them are holding blow guns, and one actually has it looks like a shrunken dried head that it's holding, and they look at you and they And they're kind of like, you know, they're kind of like forming a line.
Oh, easy.
Okay.
And they got their spears up. They look really. Everybody, give me an insight check. Insight, please.
A nat 1.
All right. Anybody? We'll just keep. I like the number 14 tonight. That's feeling good. So anybody who scored over a 14, you can sense and see that they're very tense, like very tense, but they're not directly. There's almost like a sense of intrepidation in them. You know, like they're trying to be tough, but they're kind of a little bit nervous, like almost like a fearful. Like, you know, if you thought somebody could be really dangerous, but you still had to like, hey, you back up now, watch it now, you know. But just like they keep saying,
Friend Volric, while I'm working on this language spell, you might want to consider offering them some treats.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I suspect it's this situation we will catch more with honey than with, you know, a stick.
Yeah, I reckon. I think they're just being cautious. If we show kind will, I reckon we'll win them over.
About how many are surrounding us, Tony?
I'd say you got about 12 that you can see, but you can hear rustling, like, you know, in the trees around you. So it's possible there could be more.
If you're going to make an offering, Volric, maybe Bert could deliver, because I'm not sure about you moving right now.
I think what they would like is an assurance that we're not threatening. Perhaps we can put our weapons down.
Yeah. Just lower your weapons slowly down. Don't drop them.
No, they got
just the one holding the head.
Keep them handy.
I present my hand axe and I lay it in front of me, and then I pull out my sword.
As you're doing that, they kind of like
in front of me.
They ease in at first when you first take it out, like you're unsheathing it. But then as you lay it down, they kind of ease back, like, you know, like they're arching, getting ready to attack. But then they ease back as you put it on the ground.
Everyone else follow suit.
I'm not dropping my weapon. No.
You have your fists and feet, Diora. You don't even need it.
I lower it to my side and have it sitting on the ground on my
It's
hand.
on my back.
Pommel.
I don't need to take it off.
Gesture with your hands at least then. And then Rin puts down her bow as well.
I am using my one of my slots to ritual cast it, but I'll fast cast it.
You're using what?
It's in the chat. Comprehend languages.
Oh, nice.
For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. Duration is 1 hour.
Nice.
You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface of which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read 1 page of text. It doesn't decode secret messages in a text or a glyph, such as an arcane sigil that isn't part of a written language. Oh, I can cast it on other people.
All right. So you can understand now what they're saying. Now, only he can understand this, but you actually hear them saying, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" You know, they're repeating that, but you hear, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
I just repeat.
Put down your weapons.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Put down your weapons.
Can you speak to them?
No, wait, no.
I can comprehend that.
You could copy them, which look.
I think the two of us can work together quite well. You say? Then I'm going to kneel down. They see I have no weapons at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I kneel down towards what looks like perhaps their leader. On one knee, and I put my hand close to the ground as if normally you draw in the dirt, but instead I'm going to do a minor illusion. I'm going to draw essentially kind of a map of their island and a bit of a hint of what the sea is, and then a boat with us on it where you can kind of see little people look like us.
Mm-hmm.
And I point at us and then point at the people on the boat back and forth.
All right. So this.
And then I turn to Aize to see what they say.
So this cool. Let's describe this cool illusion though. So this cool illusion, as you go into the sand begins to whirl up, and the sand itself looks like it turns into the ocean and the sea before their eyes, and this boat forms out of the light of the illusion, and it's now on the sea, and you see the harpies flying and hitting the boat, and you fighting him, and they're looking at that, and you can see like, oh, now Chris, not Chris, but Aize hears, amazing. What is this thing that they're on? This great beast that they rode? They're talking about the boat, thinking, they've never seen a boat this big. They're just amazed at this. And so after they do that, they kind of like look at you, and they look at each other, and they kind of like motion it. Bahala. And Chris, you hear them say, get up. We're taking you to our village.
He says he'd like to take us to their village.
Easy enough.
Can we bring our stuff? Don't want to leave this in the dirt.
Don't see why not.
And I kind of motion down to open my arms, and I look down at the weapons and see what their reaction is.
He comes, he cuts his spear, kind of like points it towards you not to touch it. But then he says, and one of his men come out, and they have a bag, and they put your weapons in it. And what Aize hears is, we will take your weapons for safekeeping. They'll be given to you once you're deemed not to be a threat.
It's like the airport.
Clip that. We got to get a clip on that one. Like the airport.
Not like the airport. No airport I would ever go to.
Can I just clarify, like being an Aussie, we do not rock up to the airport with guns and weapons.
This is just in America. That's what we always have to turn
America.
like that.
Hold it for you when you land.
Oh man, that was good. That was a good one.
So,
all right. So I'm fine with this. 4 of us don't even need weapons, to be honest. I think we're in good hands. Aize, what's your gut?
I am not giving up my daggers. And but if they want, they can. Well, what the heck? I hand over my throwing daggers, but I'm keeping my magic dagger because I eat with that.
You can have everything else, but not my bloody axe.
You know what?
To my back. Yeah,
would simply.
My axe.
What is their reaction, Tony?
well,
There's a couple of us that want to bring weapons in.
that want to hold your own weapons.
Yeah, Seth Red.
They surround They surround the people that want to hold their weapons, yelling, and they kind of like take their spears. They don't puncture you or really hurt you, but they kind of like touch you with the spear. And you're getting. Give me an insight. Roll your insight. I don't know if you really need it.
Are we all rolling insight?
Do you really need insight? Can y'all infer? I mean, do you need it? You can infer that they really probably don't want you having those weapons, and they're like poking the spear, and then you see like in the shadows inside the trees now, it got silent, and it seems like all of a sudden there's like the forest itself is watching you almost. You could tell there's eyes on you watching the situation.
Oh, just give it up, Seth Red. Don't worry.
I understand. This is very special to me.
Yes. I'm sure it's very personally special to you. I'll pull out my magic knife and I hand it to them hilt first.
You're comparing my axe to that toothpick? Are you insane?
Are you insulting my magic knife?
It's the only thing I have from my past. It's never left me.
Oh no, I just bought this in a bazaar. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Seth Red.
They take the knife.
Seth Red, perhaps you stay here.
Fine.
Perhaps you stay here.
Fine. It's not leaving me.
And so I'll kneel down again, and I'll make a very simple illusion that shows. Again, keep in mind, by the way, these illusions are all still, right? They're still images, but it shows all 5 of us walking towards the village and Seth Red staying behind. and with
I'll
us
stay
an
with
escort.
Sephrith.
All right, so
Dimitri.
Sethreth is gonna stay behind then.
Yeah, so I do that. I look
I'll-
up to see if they're okay with that. So Sethreth can stand there and keep his axe.
Tesla will stay with Diora.
They
have
look
where
at
those are
they
going?
look at you and they look at Sethreth and they say, if you and what you hear Ayize is, if he wishes to stay by himself on the Isle of Dread, then so be it.
Okay.
The implication is it's actually dangerous to be alone, so it's just as well that someone keeps him company.
All right then.
They seem to believe that if you wish, they found it amusing that someone wishes to stay alone on the Isle of Dread.
So
I mean, out of the six of us, you three are the most vocal. So it's only right that you three go.
Splitting the party seems like a great strategy.
We'll be right outside. It's not like we're going to be that far away.
Yes.
If you three are going to stay
They're
here,
starting to get that. But it's about too many. They now they're all pointing. They're not trusting Yusabakayita. They start talking between themselves. They're splitting up. What you hear as a Yize is they're splitting up,
I would
dividing
like
up
to
to
reach
attack.
into my pouch slowly, of course, and I start to bring out the tinderbox, some trinkets, and I start to kind of go towards, of course, I'm unarmed. I go towards what looks to be our leader and start to kind of hand him some of these gifts.
What are they? What are you giving them though? Like
So, still some trinkets, maybe a necklace, something they've been giving me that's kind of pretty. A tinderbox. It should be inferred as to what that might be. Maybe some, a blanket, a few different things. I start handing him things in a very giving kind of gesture.
While you're doing this, Sethreth sees upon the chance and he takes his cloak out of his backpack and starts wrapping up his axe in his cloak and then straps it to his back, and just to see if that helps nullify the situation.
they seem to be.
Maybe they're hungry.
They come to Sethreth. They look. They see that the axe has been wrapped up. They pick up the trinkets as well. They, the one guy looks at him, holds up the trinkets, looks at you, and just kind of frowns a little. But he sees that Sethreth has at least wrapped up. It's tightly wrapped, and they surround Sethreth, and that bakala huhi. That will do.
Point to it and nod.
You can carry it, but it has to stay like that, completely wrapped.
Oh.
So they're okay. So you can come like that to the village.
There we go. Solved it. And I get to keep my weapon.
Now it's a party.
All right. So y'all are heading to the village then. As you arrive, and obviously this place, it's a jungle village, as you can see here in the first shot here. There's some large totems that have glowing, almost like jewels within the stones. There's a fire burning, a large bonfire burning in the center, and you have looks like almost like somewhat a human sacrifice had just occurred. There's some guys holding up shrunken heads there, as you can see as you get a little bit closer. Then, as you're walking, and this island, you see a large wall, because you actually go through a large wall itself, and you realize that this is the village of Tamora that they had described in the letter from Rory Barbarossa. So this is hopefully, from what his description had been, a friendly island when last the island had been found, when it appeared. So you go in here, and you walk in, and you see all these natives and villagers are all over the place walking. It's quite large. You can tell much larger once you actually get past the threshold and everything else, that it has, probably from what you can estimate just from seeing a number of huts. Obviously you can't see it on screen, but it probably has a few hundred villagers in it. So again, a very large village. And as you do that, they bring you up to a rock, and on top of the rock, a woman comes out. and she is dressed differently than the other natives. You
Can
know.
I interrupt and say that these shots are amazing, Tony?
Oh, thanks, man.
These are really cool.
Only took God knows how many hours. Anyway, just think.
It looks amazing. And one question, that previous shot, and it showed him holding the head. That was a damn big head. Can we get a bit more detail on that head? Thanks.
Oh, sure. The head that he was holding was shrunken, but it looked more or less fresh. The bottom part of the neck where it had been severed, it appears to have been a jagged blade, because rather than a clean cut, the flesh almost looked like it was ripped, like small pieces and strands still hanging off where the connective tissue had been pulled and stretched, because skin actually pulls and snaps when it's ripped hard enough. It's almost like water. So you hear a popping sound when you rip flesh off the body. Don't ask me how I know that. So,
oh, I should try that sometimes. It sounds fun.
So,
what's the size of it? Is it normal human head? Because in the picture,
it looks to be a normal, I'd say, humanoid-sized head. From the damage that's been done by the shrinking and everything else, you really can't tell what it is. Well, I mean, tell you what, give me a survival. Give me a survival roll, real quick. What'd you get?
I have no idea.
6. You can't tell. You look at from the head itself. There's too much damage, but you can tell it's a humanoid head of some kind.
As we go past that area, I'll kind of mumble to the rest of the group on the far reaches of the step.
Here, I'll bring it back on screen. Yeah.
What was your whisper, Seth?
On the far reaches of the steppe, we come across tribes that do this brutal stuff. They're kind of shunned away from the rest of the barbarian clans. We need to be cautious. This is not good.
I just whispered.
Quite violent.
And as he says that, I just whispered to Dimitri, and I thought we were monsters.
Yeah, they're far worse than us. Don't you worry, love.
I would like to present myself to the what looks to be their shaman, this woman.
Well,
I'll take a step forward and kind of do a bit of a bow, but also kind of a gentle gesture of passiveness.
Well, hold on. Let me go ahead and describe the scene, because when you arrive, they're surrounded. You can't even move forward now. They've pretty much got you encircled where, you know, you can't do anything. They've got spear tips at you. And this woman, she walks out, and she's a dark-skinned woman, a very middle-aged, dark-skinned woman, as you can see, just like on screen. She has these green robes. She has what looks like to be a bunch of ornate jewelry, as well as a headdress that's on her. So you can tell that this is someone of great, great importance. And she walks out and she begins to talk. And the guys come like next to you, and they kind of like push your shoulders down for you to kneel. You know, as do y'all kneel?
I turn to him and I say, I refuse to bend the knee. Just kidding. And I kneel down. I say, follow suit.
She looks up.
Follow along, Diora.
I refused. What are you doing, Borg?
Yeah, same. At the most, I'd bow my head, but I would not kneel. She's no.
I'm not sure if I want to die on a principle.
Diora, you must get out of here alive. Just follow along.
These are just tactics. It means nothing.
You know that we're in their land, right? And these are their customs.
Mhm.
And this is their leader. And they want us to show respect to their leader. Now, if you don't plan on showing respect, then throw down and start killing them. Or you can sort of cooperate and bend the knee.
Dimitri,
Give up a little bit of pride to show that we respect them. And then we don't have to kill anyone. And no one has to die.
Can is this possible to kind of get Aize to persuade me to do this? Because it's kind of not my character to do it unless he's getting persuaded.
Sure.
Can I get him to do a persuasion roll on me?
Sure, go ahead and
I fail it. And hopefully I failed it. So I go, all right, I'll kneel, mate, kind of thing.
we'll say Aize has advantage because everyone else is doing the same thing. So he should win. Let's hope it turns out good, or it's going to be an interesting stream tonight.
I'm doing what? Persuasion?
Persuasion with advantage.
Look, big man, when you visited another tribe, didn't they ask you to do something to show your respect for a chieftain?
Yeah, but that was actually a chieftain that we were aware of that had earned that respect, not demanded it.
They're looking at you getting more agitated.
Them, and they don't know you, and they don't know if you... Okay, too many people are talking at once. I'll just stop.
All right, chuck your persuasion roll in there, big fella. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's shit.
I told you.
How could you roll a
you
4
should have had Volric do
1?
this.
Yeah, Volric, try to convince him.
Did somebody else jump in and help him?
Now, Sethreth, as you know, I've traveled near and far, islands and sea, tundra, cities, you name it. And there's some places where kneeling is a position of power. It's of mutual respect. She has her place, we have ours. I will use deception.
Roll persuasion.
I'm using deception. Because I'm lying to his ass.
Oh, deception. Roll deception then.
Here we go. Here we go.
Advantage. Come on, you got advantage too.
Advantage is...
Oh my God.
Wow, you guys.
All right. Well,
the 12.
So should I do perception to see whether or not I believe the lie?
Insight.
Yeah, it's insight. It's insight.
Insight's
okay, here we go.
Yeah,
let's see if I believe the lie. I do. You're like, mate, you're full of bullshit. Don't fucking try and bullshit me. You're
all right.
bullshit.
So at this point, they see that Sethreth isn't going to bow. The natives begin, about 10 natives. They all poke their spears at Sethreth, and they start pointing to push you out of the crowd of the people that have kneeled. You know, they're like,
I walk back then. If that's the case, I'll step back and be. I'm trying not to be disrespectful. Like, I'll fully lower the head and show acknowledgement. If they want to move back, I'll move back, but I won't kneel.
Yeah, they look very agitated to Kalahui. And now there's like 10 guys all pointing spears at Sethreth. They're not attacking you, but they are on you. Like if you even moved.
Yeah, I'll move back then.
And I go, ho, ho, ho. And I'll start to draw my finger very slowly and start to do another minor illusion. And I do the illusion of all of us here, kind of smaller versions in front. And then one of Sethreth. And then with Sethreth, I'm going to put symbols and other things that will make him look like he's like a child, right? Like give him like the face of a child, almost like a diaper. And I go like this, and I go like this too, like, you know, to kind of show that he's crazy.
They try, the guys who are kind of guarded Sethreth, they look over the shoulder, they can see it. They try not to laugh, but you hear "Bulala boobe," and then they quickly like put their things back on Sethreth like that. And at that moment, the woman starts talking. Kalala shuma, lui, shukutasa shinota shimbali. And at that moment, behind her, a man comes out, and he stands right next to her. And amazingly, he begins to speak common. She says she wants to know why you are here. You should show respect. Her name is Jakata. She is our queen, the Earth Mother. Apparently your friend did not know how to properly show respect. He is lucky he is still breathing. It is only because we do not know who you are yet that you still live. My name is Shaka. What are your names? Quickly.
Can you confirm this is in common, right? This is not.
Yes, this is in common. Yes. Amazingly, he's speaking common.
Is he saying what she said? Because I did understand what she said.
Yes, she's basically saying the same exact thing for everybody else.
He's speaking the truth as far as what she said.
Of course I
Now
speak
it
the
gets
truth.
good.
I speak for her. As I said, I am Shaka. I am her husband. I walk behind her because I respect her wisdom. I am the great elephant, but I serve her. She is our queen and our leader.
Oh, great elephants. I am Volric the Gray. We come here on a simple mission of repairing a ship and making a map. Our friend here, he's a map maker. We've come to map this island. We know that we would need help by powerful and wonderful people such as you. So we thought we would engage you first, see how we could offer our services, our help. This is Rin Swiftbow. She's our scout. This is Diora, Dimitri, our map maker, Aize, and Sethreth the Slow.
Why should I
And
care?
I turn to him, I go, shh, like that.
Why
I
should
smile.
I care about any map that you make? You come to this island, and I've crossed your kind before. That is how I have learned to speak your tongue. Long ago, I was lost at sea and found by some like you. They turned Shaka into a slave, made me work and serve them. But I slay them in their sleep, and I escaped here, back to my island, because I know the stars and I was able to find my way back here. And now, I wonder if you are cursed with the same sickness of greed that I saw with those other ones from all those years ago. You say you want to help us. Fine. But what do you want in return? No one offers something for nothing.
A place to rest, eat, resupply, some information. And for that, we can clear the enemy of, I must imagine there are all kinds of monsters and things on your borders. Other issues you might have with other tribes. I could even build boats for you if you'd wish.
He looks
Fair
so
exchange and all respect.
he looks over at Jakata and begins explaining to her in their language. And she speaks Shola, Ufititala, Mala Zumbi. And at that moment, Shaka kind of smiles. You want a place to rest, you want to share our resources, and you want, I imagine, wood of some kind. I could see that your great wooden beast that you rode in on is damaged. So you must want something to repair it. We can help you with all of these things, but there will be a price.
As long as it's not the same price that poor gentleman paid, I point to the head, I think we can accommodate.
No, that one is one of three that showed great dishonesty and dishonor. They are meeting the fate that they deserved. As long as you do not show the same dishonor and dishonesty, then you will not be served upon a plate.
I don't have a problem with that. I look back at my group.
All right. So he says, all right, what we want you to do is we have many, which is called on this island, and each tribe has what is called a zombie master. It may sound very scary, but it is not. Usually, we only reanimate the dead to help us, and they are not dangerous. In fact, no zombie on this island would ever attack one of us. You, not so much. But sometimes they break free. And the zombie master that we had, named Tashal, she was attempting, we think, to find a way to improve upon some recipe to create better zombies, for she had a great ability to take the plants of this island and form potions and salves to do miracles and things you had never seen. But we fear that in her experiments, she became corrupted and twisted. And after that, she disappeared, and there began to be attacks on the villagers from the zombies below in the burial ground. At first, it was just one, but now each night, 1 to 2 villagers is being taken. We cannot allow this to continue. There are 2 ways to solve this problem. My queen says you can do either one. I think that you will be just like the others of your kind and take the easy way out. If you want to quickly solve the problem for us, then just go underneath the burial mounds and to the caverns below, find T'Challa and slay her. That will end the problem. But it will cause us a great loss, for we will have lost a great one of our tribe. There is another option that we offer you. And what you can go to the swamps themselves. We have sent our own people there, and our own warriors, but they have not come back. We fear that there is a great creature there. Perhaps something that turns men even to stone. We are not sure. But whatever is there, it has been corrupted by the jungle itself and the powers of this island. It would be stronger, faster, and more resistant than any of its other kind. But if you go there, you must find a flower. There, with that flower, you must drain its vital essence. You cannot pluck it. It must be drained while still attached to the root. It will take you about 2 hours to do, if you know how to do it the proper way. If you bring this back to us, then we will be able to make a potion that will be able to cure T'Challa and bring her back to us. And we will be incredibly grateful. But again, I doubt you will have such bravery to face the swamps and the dangers that are in there. Best you take the easy path of your kind and just go underneath and slay her.
So you're saying that we can either slay your former zombie maker and whatever zombie she's created, which wouldn't be so great to you, or we could risk ourselves with some other nasty that can turn us to stone and bring back this flower essence. Am I correct?
If you're able to heal her, we would be incredibly grateful. And I'm sure we could find a reward if you were to perform such a great feat of bravery. But that is what we respect in this tribe. Those who are brave and offer sacrifice for those they care about. And that is why I think you will not brave the swamps. I do not sense that honor in you.
I turn back to the group. Well?
Getting a healing potion, perhaps prevent it from the next time it happens.
The rest of you?
Fascinating place. I really like to study it if given the opportunity. As for the adventure, I'm with whatever direction's fine with me.
Tiora?
I mean, we just sat here for like half an hour to listen to the disrespect of our kind. It doesn't matter to me. He could have just told us what we had to do and we could have left by now.
Yora, it's disrespect for the other kind, not for our kind.
Well, still half my kind.
Do not take offense on their behalf.
I know they're not as smart as we are. I get it. I say we do the hard one.
Flower.
All right.
Yeah. That way, next time we won't have to bend the knee and show respect, because respect is, you can't demand respect. That's not how you do things. And besides, I like a challenge anyway.
I appreciate that spirit, Diora. Dimitri.
As I've stated, the flower it is. I believe one of us has the tools to do this mission.
And Sethreth, of all of us here, a possible exception of Diora in a situation, I think the two of us would like nothing more than the most violent, vicious, and challenging combat we can find. What do you say we head towards that flower?
Let's smash that flower, I say. Let's do it.
Got the right spirit. We'll just have to direct it in the right places.
I feel another poem coming on.
Oh Lord, can we leave now?
Save us.
Almighty elephant, white elephant.
It is
He's
great,
white
the
elephant,
great elephant.
The great elephant. Yeah, he's not white. Mighty great elephant. I say, what can you tell us about this creature that turns us to stone? Is it by gaze? Is it by breath?
We believe it is by gaze, but we cannot be sure. We don't even know. That is just a rumor that we have heard, but if you are really prepared to go, then perhaps you should take this. And he hands you it is one of our shiniest stones. It can reflect things. If it is something that uses a gaze and is able to turn things that look at you to stone, then this may help you. But again, it has been corrupted. It may be so powerful that this does not even work. And he tosses it to you. Feel free to go and walk around our village. Take the resources, the food that you need, the provisions. I will give permission for at least 2 days, because that is how long it will take you to get to the swamp and back. If we do not hear back from you by then we will believe that you have been destroyed, never to return.
Rick. Any chance they could give us a scout to get us there on a better, quicker route?
I think that's a fine request. Great elephant, we appreciate all of these things that you're about to bestow upon us and appreciate this mirror, shiny rock. Can you perhaps grant us 1 or 2 scouts that can lead the way and perhaps warn us of certain topical dangers, because just traveling through the swamp itself can be a bit of a slog.
I also want to make sure the way we collect from the flower follows your orders to the T.
Before we give we do have scouts. But before we would trust you with any of our own people alone, first you must go do this task for us. Prove yourselves worthy of trust, and then you shall be fine. I will tell you how to get there. There is a path that will take you straight to the swamp. Just follow that path. But again, once you get there, the dangers will be great. Beware of quicksand, crocodiles, and again, whatever great beast is now lurking there.
Hence, having a scout would be really handy, mate.
You obviously want that scout.
Looks like the scouts is going to be Rin Swiftbow, my friend.
Gotta earn the trust, man.
I have one more question for you, Great Elephant, unless my friends have more. Is if one of us were to be turned to stone, do you have any magics that could undo that?
I guess that would all depend on if your mission was successful or not. Why would we help those who have done nothing but fail us?
Fair enough. Diora, I love you.
I look to Vorik, and we risk our lives for these people. They don't even want to help us.
There's reward.
They want us to go out and do tasks for them, risking our lives.
There's rewards at the end of this, Diora. Did you not hear?
All I've heard was a bunch of nonsense.
I
since
hear
we've
you.
gotten here.
Go, girl.
I hear you, Diora, but we also don't necessarily deserve to be here more than anyone else, and we need to show that we do.
All
Diora,
right, then why are we still here? Let's go.
this is one of many trials you will face. You've faced many before on your journey. What's one more?
Well, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Go
guys.
ahead.
I'll let you down. I'll let you down. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Mine was purely visual related. Like Sethreth would be looking at the tribe's features, skin color, seeing if there's any history that he can connect with. Also, any sculptures in the town. Is there anything that would be something that would connect with him and his acts or his past?
Give me a history roll. What you get?
I got a big whopping 3.
Well, that was insight you roll. I said history.
Oh,
I think you hit the
Sorry.
wrong thing, buddy.
I did the wrong thing. Not wearing my glasses.
Oh my God.
You got a 0.
You don't know.
I was about to say.
You know, actually, you do know 2 things. And one of them starts with your name. Jack and and Jack just left home.
Can I?
What is their skin color? Is it very dark or not?
Yes, they're darker skin color. They
Not along the lines of my character as being fully black, or
no, more like my color, a little darker. Yeah.
so okay, so that role would make him think, oh, look, the skin color, there's great similarity there. So that's got him more eager to help. So I'm trying to find a connection for him. Oh, I think we should give it a crack. Let's help him out. You know, yeah, Diora, trust me, let's just do this. It'd be worth it. Gets us home.
Are you expecting to have a connection to this place?
Are you a cannibal?
Well, no. Well, when we found out about this island, they said that there were large statues of previous inhabitants. I'm just trying to see if, yeah, all right, I'll be honest. Trying to see if there's a connection. I'm apparently half orc in nature, but my characteristics don't fully fit. I've never been fully what you would call a half orc, so I'm trying to find out if there's any connection. Yeah, you know now. It's out. So let's do it.
Well, you may not be a half orc Sethreth blood tongue, but you're certainly all balls.
Thank you.
I see you're a better fighter than you are a joker.
Hmm.
Your jokes are terrible.
I've been told they're dad jokes.
Ah, yeah, they are dad jokes.
Mr. Elephant Man, whatever. your name is.
Elephant Man. Shaka.
Do we get
Great
our
elephant.
weapons back now?
He looks at his warriors. Ukala, using the weaponaya. And they come over and they pour your things carefully. They don't do it disrespectfully, but they pour your things like on the ground in front of you so you can get your weapons and stuff. Take care. If you are going to the swamp, then I guess we will not be seeing each other again. May the island hold you in good spirits when you are gone. And he kind of like him and Shakal, and he says, last thing he says, it is not me you should be thanking for your life. It is Jakala, for she rules here. I just speak for her. And as she walks away, he walks behind her, and they go into like the hut, and it's actually a bigger hut than everybody else's. It's actually very well built. You can tell that these people have although they're not dressed perfectly, they have an extremely high level of engineering skill. You can tell by the way things are built. You can tell by the way things are carved. So there's a high level of mathematical and engineering skill that's right below the surface.
These are no
Do they-
savages.
Do they have any extra spears laying around?
You could ask.
Yeah, I'll ask.
What do you ask Shaka?
Yeah, before he leaves.
What do you want?
I just need a spear.
Since you are going to die anyway. And he takes he actually has one on him. He looks at it. Yeah. You can even take mine. I don't use it very often. And he kind of just hands you a spear. It's not magical or anything, just a regular spear.
I take it, and under my breath, I'm gonna kill that man.
Why do you hate Shaka, man?
Thank you.
Dude,
I say, I whispered that.
he's based on Shaka Zulu. Freaking amazing man from history. How could you hate him?
I love that TV series back in the day, man. It was amazing.
Shaka Zulu, man.
Loved it.
I take the spear and I nod at him, and I twirl it in my fingers. All right, so are we going or not? Or are we just gonna sit here and tell each other our life stories or whatever?
All right, grumpy pants. Let's do this.
It's hot out here.
I'll make sure we get. I'll make sure we get enough water, because I know Rin has her good berries to give us our daily snacks if we need. Make sure we get water, and I have rope, but make sure everyone gets rope. And one more thing, I would like to make sure that each one of us has a blindfold, which may be just of our own equipment, but we could talk about that when we leave. But I do want to make sure we have water, ropes, and blindfold.
How much? I'll tell you right now how much water you got and how much food. You have got. You need 1 pound of food and 1 gallon of fresh water per day. So they give each one of you. That's a lot of water. Each one of you is carrying 2 gallons of water and 2 pounds of food. They give you in a large kind of like knapsack. So that's a pretty big, bag, carrying 2 gallons and then 2 things of food. So they gave that to you. But if you were to go, like, due to the high temperatures, I'll let you know, this is a game mechanic. I'll explain it right now. Due to the high daily temperatures and excessive humidity, you're going to be at risk of extreme heat. Each hour of traveling without suitable water intake requires a constitution saving throw with a failure indicating a level of exhaustion. The DC for this saving throw starts at 5 and increases by 1 for every additional hour traveled. Wearing medium or heavy armor or heavy clothing requires this saving throw to be made at disadvantages. Creatures adapted to the environment don't need to make this saving throw, as well as creatures with fire resistance or immunity. So basically, you need to forage, and if you forage, you don't need to worry about this because, again, they're giving you 2 days worth of food. But that is how much you guys are carrying. You've got 2 gallons of water and 2 pounds of food each, just enough to last you.
All right. So I think we get our stuff, and people probably don't want to hang out and converse based on some reactions. And we'll go ahead and head off. We ask for directions and where we should be headed.
All right, so you don't want to talk to anybody there? You just want to ask directions? Okay.
Doesn't sound like it.
All right, so you go back.
Let's go kill shit.
Shaka had already let you know. He had told you to follow the path. If you look on your map, it actually goes. There is a path. If you follow the hexes straight up, and it goes right to a hex, it'll go straight to a swamp, and that is the one you're heading to. It's northwest of the town that you're in right now. So as you're leaving, though, you see that there's a man in a cage. He looks kind of dirty. His hair is greasy and messed up. He has dark brown hair. He's highly tan because you can tell he's been sitting out here in the open environment, probably in this cage for God knows how long. So he's almost kind of like sunburnt and kind of peeling and everything else. Really kind of looks, just not very clean at all. And he looks at you as you're leaving. Hey, you, come here. Come here.
I will use my message cantrip and I message him, obviously in his head telepathically. I say, my friend, we can't approach you right now. You see there's eyes upon us. How may I help you? I am Volric the Grey.
Overheard your conversation. You got to get me out of here. I can help you. My name, I'm telling you, man. I heard that you go into that swamp. My name's Kurgan Glog. You don't want to go without me. I can help you. I know stuff. I can keep you alive.
Why are you in there, Kurgan?
Oh, these savages. You know how they are. You can't leave me with them. Who you gonna... I mean, come on. They just said I did something. Got a problem with me. They already killed my friends. That's the heads that you saw coming in. Punishing us. Filthy, dirty savages. They don't really know nothing. Don't leave me here with them. Like I said, I know this island. Before they caught me and did and everything, I had mapped a good deal of it. I can help you. I know where to go. Got it all right up here in me head.
So you've mapped it, but in your head.
That's right. Free me, get me out of here. Wait, he's coming.
Technically, that's not a map, Kurgan.
I know about the swamp. I know the dangers that are down there.
Okay.
How long this message lasts, by the way?
And so the cantrip's like a round or like a minute or whatever, but you can keep re-upping it because it's free. It's a cantrip.
All right. So we'll just say, sake of argument, you're re-upping it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I turn to the rest and I say, I'm conversing with this gentleman over here, and I keep walking. It has a range of about, I think, 120 feet. And I say, let's go back to the original question. And I'll be clear, I'm not a fan of cannibalism, unless you have the right spices. But how is it that you came to be here? What is it that you did aside from the fact that they're savages?
Fine. And, you can't see him, but if you could, like, he kind of like, his smile has a gold tooth in his mouth, and he's missing another tooth over here, his scraggly, kind of dark brown, with a little touch of gray beard. The guy just looks really dirty and ratty and slimy. Your typical looks like a lowlife. All right, if you got to know, sometimes I get on a little bit of the unscrupulous side. Originally, I was a pirate from Momaster, engaged in some slavery. And I caught some of these savages, just a few of them, nothing wrong with that, and tried to take them back, but then they caught me. Said I killed a few people and locked me in here, me and me mates. You can't leave me here. So what?
So slavery? You're a slave master?
It's just I prefer to... So what? It's not so bad. You can't leave me here. You need me to survive.
I'm sorry. I seem to have a bad connection here, Kurgan. I can't hear you.
Wait! You can't leave me in here!
Oh, how unfortunate. That spell occasionally...
They're coming any second! Don't you understand?
Well, if you can hear me, have a nice day.
And as you do that...
Some weird buzzing noise. I don't know what's...
And
so
I keep walking with the crew.
So as you do that, the last thing you hear is the screams from Kurgan as the natives come and grab him. Good, you made a good moral choice. Inspiration for you.
Thank you.
All right.
I turn to the group as we clear the forest or the area of the tribe. I turn and I say, he was a slaver. Don't shed a tear for him.
You hear the screams and the pot, the boiling water is going up, and you see the smoke, and you hear Kurgan.
Bloody hell, barbarians, huh?
Oh well.
So that's right. He deserved it. All right. So you guys are traveling now on the island. It's hot. You've got your water. The first day of travel, because it takes about a day, and actually the next morning you actually arrive. It's 5 hexes. Are you actually, it depends. Are you stealthing or are you just walking? Normal pace? Are you mapping as you travel? Because as you remember, if you do the slow pace, you're able to map each surrounding hex. So you would be able to go, and each hex you get the ones next to will be filled in on your map. I'll tell you what's there.
How long will
My
it
pro-
take us?
Let me
though,
pull
if
up the
we're
map
going
for you
at that
too.
speed?
Let me pull.
I can already tell. Aise is going to say he wants to go slow to map it, and if he says that, I support it 100%.
He's gonna say I want to stealth, which means we're going
How-
slower, or at least
Well,
I
the,
am.
well, the question is, how long will it take us to get there if we're going at that speed? Because we only got rations for 2 days.
We have good berries. What that is, just to be clear, and also to make the whole our viewership understand how it works, is that one good berry can feed one person for the entire day, and Rin can create 10 every day. So we have plenty of food. It would just be water that we'd have to worry about. But we have 2 people with good survival skills. So I'm okay going slow. Aise, I did speak for you. Sir, would you like to confirm if that's what you meant?
Yes, slow and steady. You know?
I'm all for it. I like you.
You
You're
don't have
so
to worry
unlike me
about-
that I'm a bit baffled by your approach to things, at the same time love it.
Well, we are here to record the island's terrain for posterity to make life easier for others that may come here later. Also, honestly, this is all fascinating stuff. I've not seen this type of flora and fauna around before. It's like the whole island has just stepped out of time.
Let's just hope it is a long stay. It doesn't end with this creature we're about to meet. But I'm not worried about that. So
You
sounds like
should be.
slow, Tony. Sounds like Rin will be up front, stealthing and scouting.
I'll
And
assist-
I assume
I'll
Sethreth
assist
as
you.
well, right?
Yeah, I'll assist you with the scouting.
Yeah. So keep in mind we have the survival checks to also check for tracks and things as well, Tony.
Mhm.
So those things as we kind of make our way through the swamp at a steady pace.
Okay, so you're going at a slow pace so you can map the surrounding things. All right. If you look at your map, you'll see the first hex is actually filled in because you see there's a little path, and then there's jungle on the right and left, the east and west. If you're going north from that starting area with the small village from the southeastern island. The next hex is actually as you do, because we'll do, there was no random encounters. I already rolled for that. So what you'll actually see as you map those hexes, you're continuing to follow that trail that he told you to follow. So on each side of those hexes, above the ones that are empty, the first to your east and west, as you're going north, there's going to be a jungle on each side.
Is anybody else not seeing the map? I can't see a map.
Oh, I will bring.
It's
I
not up
thought.
right
Oh,
now.
let me bring up the map for you. I'm sorry. Okay. So as you're going up from that position, you'll see in just a moment, there's a jungle on each side. They look like little trees. And then if you go up to the next hex, it's the same thing. So basically, every hex, as you go up, it's just jungle next to it. The path that you're following, and again, this is for my players. They can pull this up on Discord as well. You'll see that the path just stays clear. That actually goes through like kind of like a plains area. So you're able to go the first 3 hexes. On each side of those hexes, it's all just jungle. So basically, you're just going through kind of a jungly area following this this path. So you went the first 3, and now it is nighttime. Because that is your day travel. Each one of you has enough food and water you had for the day, so there's no levels of exhaustion there and everything else. What do you want to do? I'm just going to put you at the campsite. And do you want to do anything before you even camp? Like you were traveling through the jungle. Is there anything you wanted to do? You didn't notice any type of tracks or anything. Just general. I mean, you saw like masses of tracks, but nothing that was, fresh. It was just all just random things. As you were going through the jungle, you heard, the sound of the birds and everything else. Again, very hot, very humid. Basically, it's very hard to see because the jungle is so thick and the canopy is so high, it's so dense. So almost it's hot, but sometimes the sunlight doesn't even filter through. It's just a very dense, jungly area. Following through this. All right. So,
I would like to cast. Excuse me. I'd just like to cast a mage armor spell on myself.
okay.
That's all.
Is that at the campsite or?
Before we enter the jungle.
Okay, before you enter the jungle. Okay.
Here,
So that.
it lasts for 8 hours, and it creates a protective magical force. And base armor class is 13 plus dexterity modifier.
Okay. So you're good to
That's all.
go. You cast your mage armor, and this magical, like just the blue comes up and surrounds you. So for the whole trip, you're kind of like the Blue Man Group. I'm blue and I'm blue. You're traveling through the forest, but you are protected almost the whole day through. The last 4 hours, because you traveled for 12 hours. Obviously, it went down, but you've made it through the day. Again, there was no type of attack or anything as you were going through the path and following this path, as Shaka had told you to follow. So let me put that back on there.
I guess we just want to find the best spot for our camp. If there's something resembling a cave or even just a canopy that can be considered a bit of a cave that we can have kind of one way in.
Give me a
and-
survival roll.
That would not be me. Ren
Yeah,
and
that would be,
Sethra?
yeah. So I'm saying that
Yeah.
whoever's leading, I'll go in off their perception, their survival. So smart job with the ranger leading in nature. Survival, Rin.
Rival.
Should I roll it as well, just because I'm assisting? Like, oh well, I'm actively doing it with her, so.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, go for it. Yeah. Well, y'all both do a survival roll.
Yeah, baby, 19.
yeah.
All right.
It's
Help
good
me
we did.
out with that
All right,
damn red numbers.
Rin is once again, for some reason today, all day Rin has been enjoying the flowers. She's really just enamored by this island. Her elven
Just
heritage is
enjoying
just like,
the wildlife.
it's like-
last session, Ring rocked it, so I guess it's somebody else's turn, eh?
Yes.
but
I
Seth,
want to get all my ones
So I'm
now.
like, little one, you're missing some points today. You're not yourself. You all right? Something got you distracted?
That was probably the first time I took a life, so probably that.
Look, that was an evil creature. Don't feel bad about that. Just
I
hope
think-
you never have to take the life of someone who's got a good soul, because that hurts. That stings deep. All right? You walked straight past that, mate. Shouldn't have. Wake up. Let's get back on it. I've got your back. All right?
Right. All right, thank you.
Sethreth, with your roll though, you're able to find a decent spot to camp that seems to offer a good amount of shelter. You've got like rocks and everything in one side, not exactly a cave, but like a rocky outcropping that extends high up into the air and kind of like hooks off. So it'd be hard for any type of animal. Obviously, it couldn't walk upside down. And well, spider, who knows if I'm sadistic, I'll phase spider you. But aside from some sadistic monster that would spider climb underneath and get you, it does seem to be like a generally, I'd say, a safe area that you have found for you and the group. You still would need to roll like I'd still say give me a survival roll, or you can do. We'll do whoever is leading, whoever wants to set up camp. You can give me a survival roll, and that will determine if you have a little bit of an advantage on perception rolls and stuff.
Rin, do you want to go get the others while I set up camp, or would you like me to do it?
You only get one roll for this too, so only one person can do it.
Arnie, is it okay to have one person do and the other person give advantage?
With your inspiration, you can.
Oh, no, not that. Never mind.
Rin, would you like to get the others or set up camp?
Think I'll get the others.
Okay, well, I'll be here setting up camp while you go get it. All right, survival roll again.
Come on, Sethreth.
All right.
11.
You have neither advantage nor disadvantage with that roll. Just
Okay.
average old, on perception checks throughout the night.
I'm good at finding them. Just don't make me cook, remember? I do the best I can under the circumstances. Housekeeping was not something that I'm that great at. And I will also look for areas that I can climb up and get a bit of an advantage of like a area to look out. And kind of once I got that set up before the others get back, I'll climb up to that point and perch myself and keep a lookout.
If you're going to climb up a tree, you'll need to do your choice, athletics or acrobatics. Give me since you're out of combat, it's not a particularly hard roll. Just give me a 12 or higher. But if you fall down,
also, didn't you say that we got the camp inside of a kind of little bit of an alcove on a kind of
like a rocky outcropping that kind of like from behind y'all, like if you had the fire here, there'd be the rock wall behind you and the outcropping that kind of comes up hanging over the top of y'all. So it's kind of like the fire illuminates the kind of this top outcropping.
Yep. And how high is that area?
Probably about 20 feet above y'all. House, I'd say almost as high as a two-story home, maybe 30 feet out.
Well, I'll climb up to the top of that.
Okay, go ahead and give me your choice, acrobatics or athletics. Since you're out of combat, like I said, not a hard roll, 12 or higher to pass.
Yeah, climbing the athletics, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so I say, well, your choice.
Mate, I'm like a spider. 20.
You are, man. You see your muscles. Okay. Sethred, apparently he decides he's going to go up there and there's no chalk dust. So you just pick up dirt and you just put it in your hands like this, like a rock climber, and you grab onto those rocks. And with strength alone, your hand and your grip strength is gripping these rocks. And you're going up there, you're finding all the crevices and you get to the top of this thing. So now if there's any type of perception rolls, you are going to have advantage.
And as I'm looking out, an eagle in the background screeches. Maybe it's the falcon. It's Bert.
So you are up there. Does anybody else want to do anything?
Yeah, when Ren comes to get us, you just see Diora just stabbing a tree with this spear that she has.
Ouch.
And she's just like, damn elephant man. She's just like whispering about the elephant guy. And she just stabbing the tree. I don't know how they did anything with these spears. It's so dull.
Dior is scaring me, man.
Nasty.
So, Dior and the rest of you, I'd like to speak with you before we call it a night and set up our guards for the evening. Now that we've left this place, truth be told, we don't have to have a relationship with these folks. If you'd prefer, we can just go off on our own. And if we meet them again, perhaps there's a melee. But I can see them as being very useful allies. Then again, they do eat people. Not a good look. But there's a lot of usefulness that can come from allying ourselves to a degree. And if they're only eating slavers, then I guess I'm okay with that. But here we are. We're not in their clutches. We're not bowing to them. Speak your mind. What do you want to do?
What if they have someone tracking us right now? We can be being followed. They don't trust us. That was apparent. I just want to know, do you think you made the right choice, Vorik?
Well, in that camp, we certainly did. My intention was to get out of there alive, and when I handed over my weapons, I didn't expect to want to fight our way out with my knees and my fists. But that's why I'm asking the group. I may be a de facto leader of a sort, but we're all free-minded people. What do you want to do?
Well, I don't see much reason to give up at this point, especially with our only path we know so far is to continue to the swamp. Of course, we have our ultimate goal, but I doubt that if we defact from here, we're never going to run into them again. So I don't see reason to stop now.
Did they not offer a guide if we did this for them first? Do you think we will find our way through this jungle alone without getting lost? We are not from here.
I have faith in our scouts.
I don't think a guide would hurt us though, but we'll see, I suppose.
Yeah, not a gesture of good faith. I agree.
When we got here, there were scouts in the trees. I don't think you recognize how much danger we were in.
We knew
If we have to work with these people, that's fine. But I don't tolerate disrespect. And for that reason, I won't say anything. I'll go along with your decision, Warwick.
Diora, we are in their home. This is us that must respect their. In some homes, you take off your shoes. In others, you must wash your feet. In this one, you get down on a knee and you don't enter with a weapon. We are on their island, an island with a reputation of death. It is much
You
better.
say that as if death is scary. It's not. It's just the end of something. You think I'm afraid to die? I don't care.
You hurt me.
I'm sorry, Dimitri.
You do not know death. And I only have visions of the death. It is not. This is only a new beginning, and you don't want to have that. And I will never try to never let you have this. You have a gift, child. Don't squander it with pride.
Right then. I can't argue much, so I guess you got your wish, Ulrich. But if this turns bad, then I will have the pleasure of knowing I get to say I told you so. And this, and I twist the spear in my hand. Oh, this is gonna find its way. Somebody's gonna die by it.
Thank you for speaking your mind. Dimitri?
Yes, Ulrich, the Urian.
So, yes, in my experience, there are different types of people. There are scholars, such as Aize. There are professionals, such as Rin. There are the eclectic, for lack of a better word, people like Dimitri, and there are warriors. And I see my friend Dior here. The only difference between you and Sethreth in some ways is that he doesn't wear a shirt. You're both fierce. You're both ready for battle at all times. I fought you on that deck. I had never had someone so small in comparison to me practically beat me down with their hands and their feet.
You fought
I respect who you are. I respect what you are. Perhaps in in the future, we can consider these factors when we make decisions on allegiances and other things, because you don't send a group of stern, stubborn warriors into a diplomat's chamber, do you? So, yes, I think we're making the right choice, but we'll see. And I do understand all of you more, and don't for a minute think that I don't respect the hell out of all of you. All right, then, in that case, I guess we can turn down for the night.
All right. So is anybody else want to do anything? Yize, is there anything you wanted to do?
I'll do the usual before I turn in. I will sit down and make notes of everything that occurred during the day, and I'll record it in the archive. And then I'll meditate, recover spells. In the morning is when, just assume that every morning after ablutions, the first thing I do is fire off mage armor and put it on myself.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. All right. So the night actually goes by, pretty uneventful. You set up your guard stuff and everything, I assume. But yeah, it goes by pretty uneventful. There's no type of attacks or anything. It's a little bit cooler at night. That's a godsend for you. But as the sun comes up on the next morning, the oppressive heat and humidity comes right on back. So again, you now have 1 day worth of food and water left since you're traveling at a slow pace. You get to
Tony?
Yes.
I propose that we half that amount of ration cost, because at night we can each eat a good berry, which one good berry is good for an entire day for a person.
Okay.
So I would think we can supplement our food. And then also, if we get maybe 3/4 of the way out of the regular food, we could always spend some time and have our superstars hunt.
Is that
and Tony?
Yes.
I don't need to eat or drink, so I'm just carrying this extra stuff.
You're just hanging out. All right. Well, that gives.
Maybe I have an idea. Diora can bite all of us, and we all become Dampiers, and we have to worry about food.
I mean, she loves to bite things.
Definition of a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Yes.
I would say probably the portions that Diora carrying, Sethreth would be eating. He has a huge appetite.
It's funny. I thought the same thing.
2 to 3 times the amount of probably everybody else. He's eating like all the time. You notice it, and you're thinking, where is it bloody going?
Dimitri gives Sethreth his portions typically, but privately, each time you eat.
Also, in the morning, I would have kind of quietly come up next to Dimitri. Dimitri, those words you said last night, I found them confronting. Confronting as in, maybe I've been wrong. I like the way you talk. Maybe I can learn something from you. And that's it. And he walks off.
And I think Diora would have pulled Volric aside in the middle of the night when everyone was asleep. Don't worry, we're not fighting again. We've been traveling for a day or two, and I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop. You heard what that tavern keeper said. You and Ren both. You know what I am. So why haven't you said anything?
You think it matters to me?
Yeah, I do actually.
Well, I'll tell you this, and please don't take this as an inappropriate come on. But you are one of the strongest, most beautiful, most strongest-willed women that I've met in some time. And that's what you are. You are a person. Now, if being a Dampier is something that you feel is a problem for us, please share it. But I only feel for you if you see it as some kind of a curse or a bad happening. But no.
Nobody else knows this outside of Dimitri because he was there. Sometimes I just can't control myself. We got chased out of a village once, a town, once or twice, because I went on sort of a, let's say, binge where I attacked one or two people, maybe. And sometimes I have it under control and sometimes I don't. That night we fought, I'm surprised I didn't attack you.
By attack,
I wanted
you mean,
to.
by attack, you mean bite.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's because well, what is it that you humans say, you know, you play with your food or something like that? I've never been so excited by a fight before. And a part of me really wanted to bite you. And a part of me knew that that was wrong.
Well, I don't know whether to be afraid or find that as a compliment, but I'll ask you this. These people that you attacked, were these innocents that you were feeding upon? What was the story?
They were innocent in the aspect that they didn't cause any harm to me, but more so Dimitri. I don't like when people bother him, and you know, he's not as strong as I am. He's not as strong as you or Sephrith. He's like Aize, you know, and Ren. Even she's strong, but you know, compared to us, you know, hand-to-hand combat, that's not her forte. So I know that if she was in trouble, you would do anything in your power to help her, right?
Without a doubt.
So I did what I had to do. Someone was messing with my friend, and I nearly ripped his throat out.
Well, I'll tell you this, that if my only option was to rip out someone's throat with my teeth in defense of my friend, I wouldn't think twice about it.
You say these, are you saying this just because you think that's what I want to hear?
Not at all. You know, I'm not called Volric the Gray for my hair. It's because that's how I see the world. I do have a bit of an optimistic flair or perception of it, yes. But good and bad, except for in extreme circumstances, I don't really think there is any. I think there's just people, monsters, and some of the monsters are more like people and some of the people are more like monsters. But I've seen nothing of the sort out of you. In fact, I see you as an incredibly sensitive person, or someone who perhaps perceives herself as a bit of a monster.
I mean, how could I not? I drink blood for a living. You don't have to do that. And I envy you because of that.
Good enough.
But that's why I am what I am. I became a monk to study on how to stop this part of me.
And how did that go?
It went pretty well. I mean, I still have a lot to learn. But I think, and if you say this to anyone, I would deny it. I think you guys might be okay. And maybe I can learn something from you.
Everywhere I've gone, I've learned from other people.
I like you, Ulrich. I do.
I'm quite fond of you, warrior. We should spar again sometime. Assuming
next time I won't. Next time I won't go easy on you.
Yes, we just have to make sure not to be turned to stone, eh?
Well, you know what they say, right? I mean, I'm looking forward to this battle. I didn't do so well in the last fight.
You'll do plenty good. Just imagine that this creature that we fight has disrespected you.
Okay. But can we keep this between us?
Of course.
I mean, I guess it's not much of a secret from the wizard. He's pretty smart. I walked up a wall without needing any kind of, I can walk up walls and stuff like that. But
yeah, he's very smart. I won't be
Very
surprised.
chatty too.
I won't be surprised if he saved us once or twice in the future.
Yeah, I think he would.
Big muscles and a stubborn brain doesn't necessarily mean you're the most.
Are you kidding me?
Of the group.
Those noodle arms.
Yeah, he is quite skinny.
He is. But thank you for chatting with me. I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to have a problem.
I think that's far from the case, my friend. You sleep well.
You too.
Or you do sleep, right?
Maybe.
Well, have rest.
And I just as he says that, I just walk off into the forest.
Yeah, kind of
and hide behind a tree.
Yeah.
I still can't believe with that sparring match that Volric won. I really thought the monk was going to win that. I remember that was exciting. All right.
He did good. Next time we'll have a rematch.
Is there anything anybody else wants to do during the night? Because I had fast forward to the morning, I guess, too quick. My bad. Is there anything else anybody wants to do during the night?
Nope. In the middle of the night. Let's do it. Let's go.
In the middle of the night. Don't get me singing. All right. So the next morning arrives since nobody wants to do anything else. Morning does arrive. Now you can go forage for food and water because you said your good berries does food. Does it take care of water though? Because you might still need water.
No, it's food. It's food.
Okay. So you don't need water right now. You still got enough water, everybody, for another whole day. So tomorrow morning is when you would have to start thinking about probably water. But it's up to y'all. Do you want to go and head for the swamp, or do you want to do anything before you leave? What do y'all want to do?
I'm okay.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to get water now before we have to.
Yeah, okay.
Before we need it.
Diora, do you need water?
I mentioned to Diora, I was like, we need to find you something to replenish your energy.
I'm fine. I just meditate and I'll be all right. No, Sephrith, I don't need water.
So we've got your portion of water, then we can split between us.
Her portion of water would be enough water, since she's not drinking any, for one person for 2 days. So that's how much water she has. One person for 2 days.
Okay. So
if
a
you
little bit of an extra window there.
Quick note on foraging. For each character spending an hour foraging, a successful DC 10 survival check will yield 1 dice 6 plus the character's wisdom modifier in pounds of food or gallons of water. I'll let you make that choice. I'm not going to be a jerk and be like, you find all food. So if you want to say you're searching for water.
How about this? While someone's cooking, let's just metagame it a bit, but say during the morning when breakfast is being put together and people are packing up, myself and Ring quickly went off for 30 minutes and did a bit of, see what we could find.
It would be an hour, 1 hour. You'd have to do at least an hour.
Dimitri discreetly puts the water back into the container it came in, with hopefully without anybody noticing, each day or night that we drink, because he also does not need to drink water.
Oh.
He doesn't want everybody to know this.
Okay, but we don't know that. So we
No,
say
that's not for Tony. That's just for Tony the dope, so he knows that we have extra water, so it's going to last longer.
Is it possible to forage for only half an hour and get half the amount back instead of getting the full amount?
No, let's do a full hour. Just do it. Buy the book on this one, babe.
Then how about Rin and I woke up half an hour early, did that. So when we finish, everyone will be probably ready when we get back. And then we go do an hour. Is that good?
All right. So you all do. Each person roll me then. Who's ever searching for.
Hold on, Tony.
Oh, go ahead.
I have a question. Does foraging include can we use things like the herbalism kit or the alchemical set?
That will come into it because if you score a critical success, you'll result in double the yield or a rare plant find.
If you have those kits, if you're proficient with those kits,
that's not even for
just in general.
That's for anybody. Anybody who's searching, you have a chance to find, if you crit, a rare thing.
So
and that crit goes both ways. You'll find something rare on a 1. It's really weird. They let you find something rare on a 1 or a crit. It's not a fail. It's like a crit either which way, and you'll find something.
Yeah, and then we can bring it back to you to do what you need to do.
I think Dimitri will probably spend some time in downtime just speaking with Aize, discussing, what he's read in different books and things like that. I think he'll be spending that downtime doing that. And then, of course, complaining about the humidity getting into his stitches.
Sure.
Can we get this part done first before we go on to you guys with the conversation, please? Is that okay? Get it, because we started the conversation about going out foraging. Can we get that started?
Yeah, what will we need to roll?
Just roll a survival check.
Half an hour before we normally wake up, I'll go over to where Vin's laying. Little one, wake up. Let's go see if we can get some water. You keen?
Water. Good.
And we'll go foraging. Just both of us do a survival roll, yeah?
Yep. Survival.
All right, Vin. We want a good one. 16 from me.
Just normal for me?
Yep.
I'm gonna keep asking that every single time once I get it.
That's fine, Erica. Erica, I'm not one of those DMs that has a problem with new players. I've been playing for years and I still can't remember everything. So, it's okay. You're in light company. So both y'all rolled that. So you get 1d6 plus 1 the character's wisdom modifier. So now roll a d6 and then add your wisdom modifier to it. And that's how much water or food, your choice, pounds that you find.
All right. D6. We both got, and I get +1 for wisdom. So three gallons from me.
How about you, Erica? What's your wisdom modifier?
I also rolled a 2 and my wisdom 14, so does it mean 2?
Yeah, is it like +2 or something?
Mark?
It should say plus.
Yeah, +2.
All right, so you got 4 gallons of water. So altogether, y'all got 7 gallons of water. So that's enough water for combined with the other 2 gallons from Dimitri. You got 9 gallons. So you've got enough for almost like a day, and then for another 3 people, whatever. Another 3 people have another day, but then the other 3 people are going to be without water. It might be rough on them. But yeah, you've found a good amount of water.
So when we get back, I'll go straight to Volric. Volric, we've got a fair bit of water. Is it worth leaving some of it at this campsite so when we come back, we've got it? Or do you want us to load it with us?
That's a good idea. What does your experience tell you?
Well, not having a tracker to tell us how really close we are to our goal, it's kind of up in the air, isn't it?
Perhaps we bring it with us then. We can always forage for water on the way back.
Yeah, we found a couple of not too bad wells here, so natural water wells, so we could do that. I'll lug it and I'll just have it that we can drop it if need be.
And if you guys wanted to continue that conversation from earlier, too.
All right. Yep. What do you want to do in the morning?
So I guess I'd give. So we got how many liters did we just get? 9, was it?
9 gallons.
We got 7 liters that we got.
Yeah.
So
you got total of 9 gallons.
Sorry.
Including the ones that we, including the one we just got, or is that?
Well, no, that's additional to what you have because you all have at least 1 more gallon for today, and then 9 more gallons that you have with the 2. So total of 9 gallons.
How about the people who've already drunk a gallon? We replenish the gallons so everyone's still carrying 2 gallons each. And the remaining 2 or 3 gallons that are extra, we just leave at this campsite in case we come back. Does that work? Because essentially we've gained 2 days again. We've still got carrying 2 days of water on us. And we'll have some spare here if we come back. So makes sense? Does that work?
You think nothing will come scavenging for it themselves?
I'll just put it up on the rock, up high, like I was perched, and I'll know where it is if we come back. And we still got from here 2 days of water on us, so surely that's going to be enough.
I would
Warwick, sound good?
Absolutely. I've been thirsty in my life, but never died of thirst. I'm not too worried about it, as long as we're keeping ourselves aware of things.
Oh, I could go an ale right now. This heat is making me thirsty. It's pretzels.
Yeah, good thing I'm not wearing plate armor.
You're melting. All right, cool. So we've all got fresh water. I'll leave it up to you. You want us to scout ahead again?
Well, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick 5-minute break.
After that.
Because it's 9 o'clock. So let's all take a 5-minute break. We will be right back stream, and then we will be right back into them traveling towards the swamp. Be right back in about 5 minutes.
I'm just going to duck to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys online right now, and that's at the keyboard or your phone for chatting. Quick question. I assume you guys are D&D fans. I love doing this little poll. What year did you first play Dungeons and Dragons, and which version was it? Because for those of you guys that are older than maybe 18 years old, you know there's more than just 5th edition. I guess most of you folks are just kind of listening in the background or busy, but yeah, cool. What do we got? 2010, third or fourth, from my buddy Mike. At Pogo. Oh, who'd you play with, Mike? So Mike, by the way, I worked with him at Electronic Arts. When I'm not fighting monsters, I'm also a video game designer and producer. And Mike and I worked at Electronic Arts for a while together. And Pogo was the division we worked at for me, almost 10 years. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, like anything, I think that whatever version you played with will greatly affect your approach to the game, as well as, to be expected, your favorite version of the game, and your perceptions, even how the game should be played. I've seen certainly 5th edition, even those that love 5th edition, they tend to acknowledge that that's the most survivable version of the game. Oh, here we go. Give me an answer here. It's 5e me about 3 years ago. However, when I was little, I used to sit on my dad's games and he ran occasionally. I wouldn't know what they were playing, though. It was likely around, you were likely around 8. Okay. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Cool. My partner started playing 5e in 2016. Cool. Yeah, the great thing about 5e is that is one of the most balanced and easily approachable of the games. And, as a game designer, a video game designer, I think there's a lot of similarities, which is that it's not the best experience for new players to spend 20, 30 minutes, an hour making a character and then dying in a pit in the first 10 minutes of a game. And so a lot of things were put in place to make you survivable, and then also to make you kind of more badass, for lack of a better term. You tend to be a lot more heroic as opposed to 1st edition, where it was more like a horror movie. You go into a dungeon and you're afraid when a giant spider drops in front of you, because if he bites you, you make a save versus poison or you die on the spot. No damage, no half damage, no death saves.
It was scary times back then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One little slip up and game over.
Yeah. And that's the reason why I loved it, because of the tension. I love tension. As a dungeon master, it totally changes the game. Now that you're back, Jack, you want to talk about your company and all the cool stuff you do, because I want to keep plugging and promoting you, because you got some cool stuff.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Eric. And to top it off, yesterday we had a special event we went to. It was the Comic and Toy Fair. Great event. It was my first time to be there as a store holder. I've been previously as a patron. It's an amazing event. I really recommend it for anyone here in South Australia, especially in Adelaide, to attend the future. I'm pretty sure they do it twice a year. I think the next one's in October. I could be wrong. I will have to check up on that. Amazing turnout, from vintage to current toys, comic books, and of course, anything in between that. And even there were some people there with doing Dungeons and Dragons related goods as well. Some old original manuals and such. It was really good. I also made some new products in the kind of getting into the Marvel, and I have an example here. And the good old Thanos. When the snap happened, this was specially made for the event and got a lot of interest. So
with that, I guess if I was to walk in on your show and be like, crap, dude, I want that. Would you say, oh, give me your address and I'll make one for you? Or how?
Yep, 100%. I will custom order it for you and ship it out to you. Can ship to the States very easily too. And the good thing that America has an advantage over in Australia is your dollar is strong. So, I think, I don't know what it's sitting at. Is it even less than 80 cents to an Australian? So 80 cents US buys you an Australian dollar. So anything that's $100 for basically less than 80 US. And so it's a great deal for the Americans at the moment. And it won't change forever because it's been like that forever. I also was getting some new products, a dice jail that I have developed. Geez, that's coming in backwards because of the camera settings, which kind of sucks. It has a special skull lock key, and then a sheath sword to be able to open up your dice jail and put away those naughty dice when they're misbehaving. So that's a great little gimmick one. They come in a flat pack that I can ship anywhere around Australia. Only 25 Aussie dollars for that one. So what, $18 US?
You know, Jack, the thing is about that, as soon as I saw that, we have a lot of people that are watching our game because of the terrain, right? They appreciate all the terrain. That to me would be a great piece of terrain. I know the lid might not 100%, but that's a really cool looking cage for a monster or a prisoner or whatever, right? That would fit a mini, right?
Easily, yeah. Well, that's the thing. You can use it for terrain. I can even modify it and make it look like a legit cage. I do have one that even looks like a futuristic cage as well as cargo. So yes, they can definitely be modified, and I can modify them for you. And this is my baby. This is my piece of resistance. It's called the Adventurer's Survival Kit. This is the Dragon Skin Limited Edition, Dragon Scale. There's only 50 made, and I'm already pretty much halfway through. Each one gets a serial number. This is for a client that's going to be getting shipped out very soon. And the great thing about these, it's all magnetized, and your whole set fits in beautifully. This here comes out, which is magnetized as well. Let me just get that. And it's where you roll your dice. It becomes your dice tray, and there's even a matching limited edition hit point tracker that comes with it. These are premium product that I developed myself and have been doing really well with.
So for folks on the stream, you can also find Jack. What's the best way to contact you?
Through Facebook, actually, it's the best way. Jump on Facebook. It's a business called Project H2. It's probably easier when you do your search to put in designed by Project H2 and then join us there. You can message me. All my details are on there. You can directly even call me if you wish and put in personal orders. They come in different colors, ranging from beautiful plain timber through to stains of medium, all the way up to dark stains. And if you really want to get fancy, you can even have your name, your character's name, your class or race put on the back of them as well, engraved in. Thank you.
We're all here now.
I look forward to one day getting, maybe next year when I go to Gen Con or Gary Con, I'd like to get some cosplay stuff, and that'd be cool to. The thing is, I kind of want to be a barbarian too, so it wouldn't be hard for you to make it, but I want the Conan sword, Conan the barbarian. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe a roguish character. I don't know. I'm just a little too tall, I think, to play the rogue. You know, I'm like 6'1", so I don't know. I don't look like I'll be sneaking in without being noticed, you know. So
never too tall to be a rogue, brother. Never.
Plus I'd have to have an outfit that works in like with my mobility thing, because I have to ride that thing around conventions. So it has to be something like that. I thought actually the costume, we're going to get back to the game, but real quick, I thought the costume I could be for next year's Comic-Con would actually be, if you ever watch Star Trek, Captain Pike. Well, Captain Pike, just get like a cardboard type thing and put it over my mobility scooter, but just like, right, and then paint it black with like a little like light puck in the center that I can switch on, like where nobody can see where my hand is underneath, and I could just switch it on and off. So when somebody says, "Are you supposed to be Captain Christopher Pike?" Beep beep. No, nobody remembers that episode. Okay,
Remember?
All right. Well, but I guess it's for the older crowd. Star Trek, the original series.
It's a classic.
Yeah,
Star Trek, Menagerie.
What?
I was gonna say we're about to come on back on into our game now, of course. I want to address something real quick. Be super transparent. So Peter Atkinson, who is the the founder of Wizards of the Coast and majority owner of Gen Con, and he's also the gentleman that's producing and organizing all this content, which is why we're on Gen Con TV. So he saw something that I mistyped earlier that I want to clarify. It's horrible, and I'm glad that it got called out because I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm not just playing an old guy. I can't see too well. So
he is really old.
There was a discussion in the chat where they said, oh, doesn't everybody know common at birth, right? Because, you know, in this case, Tony's being very realistic, which is super cool that this tribe, for the most part, don't speak common. And I said, I typed in what I thought said, oh, we only need one. Cool, right? So I don't want to repeat the word, but the last word didn't come out as cool.
Oh.
It came out as a unfortunate, terrible slur that obviously I would never frickin' use. So,
oh boy.
If anybody read that, absolutely a mistake. I know there's 3 people here who would also whoop my ass in addition to me being very embarrassed. So yeah, no.
You did it on purpose. You're fired. Get out.
I only have a problem with Dan Pierce. No, but I want to apologize for my mistype.
You know what? In the age of, we're, with typing and getting older, that happens all the time. Geez, sometimes the stuff I put on autocorrect, autocorrect will put crazy stuff up there sometimes.
Autocorrect is the enemy.
Yeah, so I mean, if you've ever had an autocorrect accident, it's like, oh God, no, oh no. it's I understand. So we're gonna jump back in here. No big deal. Eric. Eric is our business director, so he is usually very good with words and talking and communicating, much better than me. If I try to communicate with other business people, I'll mess it all up and they'll never want to talk to me again. But Eric goes in there and he just is able to, everybody's on his side. So this is the one time you've messed up with words there, Eric. It's kind of funny. We finally got one on you.
You do.
So you messing up. Yeah, so we're going to get back into the game here. You guys, you had woken up, you got your food, you got your water, you left it back at camp. Go ahead, before you leave camp, just give me a roll, Seth. Give me another survival roll. I'm not going to tell you what the roll needs to be. This will just be something for me I need to know later. What did you get? Okay. You feel very survivalish. All right. So what order are y'all traveling in? Because right now you've headed into the swamps. And what order are you guys traveling in?
For our viewers out there, I rolled an 8 on my survival.
Yes, he rolled an 8. He feels very survivally. So that's why I said that. But yeah, what are you I'm sorry, what order are you traveling in?
We have Rin first, who's stealthing, right?
And Rin, you're going to need to roll me another stealth roll, Rin, if you're stealthing.
Yeah, and like earlier, I'd like to have Bert also ahead of me, but let me just roll for stealth.
Good old Bert.
Does she get advantage on her perception checks which she's got the Falcon?
With Bert, she gets advantage on perception, yes. Bert does. When she wants Bert to look at something, then she gets advantage. Bert's able to spot things out.
17.
And since you're moving slow on your map, you've got, as you're approaching the swamp, you've got jungle. The next hex is a path, and then a jungle on one side, and then hills on the other. Then more hills on the next hex going on the eastern side, hills to the north, and then swamps to your northwest and to your direct west. And that's the last hex you'll enter on that day. The third hex you'd enter would be the swamp hex.
So Tony, Diora would be in the back. And every 4 trees since we left camp, she will mark the tree just in case we have to find our way back to camp.
Okay. So we've got Rin in front. Who's behind Rin?
Maybe Sethreth?
Sethreth behind Rin.
Me, thanks.
Oh.
I'll be behind Sethreth, I guess. Diora, can you move quickly?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll be third then. I'm normal speed.
And I'm assuming there'll be a little bit of distance between Volric and the front two of us, because you wouldn't be very quiet in that plate armor.
Who's behind? So you've got Rin, we've got Sethreth, Volric. Who's behind Volric?
You say we'll be behind Bulwark.
I'll be behind I'll be behind Yize.
Okay. So we've got the order that you're traveling in. All right. So a little bit different than the shot, but you guys are traveling through now this swamp. When you arrive at this swamp again, you've been traveling all day. It's the end of the day. It's approaching, sunset. And this swamp is a fetid, nasty. It has an ominous feel as you approach, as if the very air, it's already a humid island, but when you enter this swamp area, it seems to actually become heavier, like it's an oppressed area of dread. Ooh, Isle of Dread. And the swamp itself is just, you see green algae, broken logs everywhere. It's got, the water itself has this foggy mist that's just hanging above it as y'all are traveling through this swamp. You see snakes and all types of animals going through the water. Sometimes you see a snake just quickly dashing out of the area and moving through an old broken log. Some of the water, it's obviously brackish moving through here. When you enter a water area, it actually becomes difficult terrain for game's sake. But it usually only goes up to chest high. If you're a smaller creature like a dwarf or something, it would actually be over your head, so you might be in trouble. But for all y'all, it's actually about chest high when you're trying to certain areas that you have to go through a little bit of nasty swamp water to get to the other side. So again, it's just a really, oppressive, hot, foggy, swampy, damp mess. Like you're in Florida swamp and everything, really bad. So as y'all going through there, I need everybody to 6 people roll me
Tony?
a d6 and let me know who gets the what?
Tony?
Yes.
I'm going to be very specific about walking in whatever steps Sethreth takes.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be walking into the quicksand.
Okay. Yeah, let's do this first. Just for that reason. First of all, let's get, since Rin is leading, Rin, now you're going to be at disadvantage, but give me perception and be the 13.
Would I be, if I have Bert going ahead, would I be able to go back to make that normal? Can I argue for that?
I'll say yes.
Legit.
I would think that's legit. I'll say
it evens out.
it evens out. Okay, so you send Bert. Give me a 13. See what you get.
All right, come on, Rin.
15.
All right. So when Bert flies ahead, and he actually spots there's an area that, with his eagle eye, you never would have noticed this. There's no way you would have noticed, but Bert is able to pick up the small granules that look slightly different, like they're like floating on the surface, and that looks like to him, now he doesn't know what it is, but to you, he just reports this very strange looking ground up ahead. That's how you kind of can understand his beakish movements. He doesn't talk, but it's just, like Lassie. Something strange, and he hits his beak on the ground and moves around like that. And lets you know, since you passed the perception roll. She rolled a 15 stream, so she passed. We use roll 20 for all our rolls.
So, when you say we're going in and out of the swamp, are we on land right now in this part, or?
Yeah, right now when this happens, that was kind of like my description narrative, right, just to stop. But right now, yeah, you're kind of like on soft land, like swampy land. There's patches of water here and there, but at this moment, you're not in like the water, the chest water itself. No.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna yell back to the group. Quicksand up ahead. Step only where you see where I step.
I repeat it down the chain. Quicksand ahead. Watch where you step. Follow our tracks only. Step in our footprints.
Quicksand. Watch my steps.
Just keeps going back.
Chinese whispers.
Yeah. When it gets to the end, it's like I don't know what it is.
It's telephone.
Yeah, it's like I'm
quickly.
wearing blue underpants. What?
We're in Quickland now.
Yeah. Yo. Zero is just like, we're in Wonderland. What? What? And I'm just like, I'm just looking to Dimitri. What? Like,
I don't know.
what did they say?
Stay out of the mist.
Okay. And I'm
Do the
just like,
steps.
Tony, we will opt not to walk through the quicksand, just so you know.
Oh, are you sure? Because I thought that you'd want to walk through the quicksand.
Oh, maybe we should have a meeting on that.
You sure? Because I mean, it's a hard choice. I mean, quicksand, death,
Do we
or
have a
live.
vote?
Well, we're not in a 1970s kids cartoon, are we?
No.
Okay, good. We're probably fine.
So, but it'd be cool if we were in the '80s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. All right, so you are able to definitely walk around the quicksand and everything. Go ahead, Rin. Give me another perception check. This one, are you using Bert again?
Yeah, which if you were trying to give me a disadvantage. Again.
Well, yeah, because let's see. First of all, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm not good. Let's see. First, I have to roll. Guys, I'm rolling.
I think we might have little sister joining.
Oh, what's wrong, princess?
All right. Well,
I might-
what is your passive perception? It's like 14, I think, for you. Is your passive?
Sorry, repeat that one more time.
Your passive perception, isn't it like 14 because of your wisdom? Passive perception.
Sorry, it's like the little things locking me in it. Perception.
Well, passive
And it
perception.
says-
Your passive perception.
Well, I'll tell you the number says 4 for perception, but I'm not. Oh, passive perception, 14. Yes. I
Okay,
can read
so
things.
14. Okay. You're able to see coming around from a distance. It looks like crocodiles, like the water comes up and there's these crocodiles are beginning to approach, but you can see them. They're at a far now. In the picture, it looks like they're a lot closer, but because you passed the check, Rin, you could see at first you notice it's just like the water is disturbed because you're looking side to side, you're crossing over the areas, you're having to walk on logs and stuff like you see there. And it looks like the water's disturbed. And then you see like a little web kind of like coming, the water, the snout go up and then back down. So you're able to see this. And you see it from a good distance away. It would take a good 3 or 4, rounds for them to even get to where you're at. But what do you want to do when you see these crocodiles?
Right.
Tony, we opt not to be eaten by the crocodiles.
Can we walk away? No. She's going to pull out her bow and notch an arrow and call back to the others that there's crocodiles up ahead.
Well, they're not up ahead. Like I said, they're kind of like
so
in the
we really
water.
could just avoid them.
Yeah, I mean, you have the option because you pass your perception check. You're able to notice that they're trying to slowly move like crocodiles do through the water. They're stealth hunters, so they're not moving fast. So you can slowly see if you're kind of like at this moment, like, hey guys, they're sizing us up. It might be best to, go get through here quickly. Or you could stay and try to, be eaten by the crocodiles. It's your call. I don't know.
I think I'm not sure. Not to speak for everyone, but I think we want to move on from the crocodiles.
All right. So
I mean, the crocodile meat wouldn't be bad, but I think we're okay with food anyway.
Somebody just asked a question. I want to answer this real quick, by the way. Supreme Y DNAC, is that the same Dwarven Forge Wildlands in the background? Yes, this is all Dwarven Forge. We love Dwarven Forge. Everything I use basically is them. So yes. All right. So you opt to walk away from the crocodiles. No problem. You guys move on out and, you're able to walk through. You got Bert, the oppressive heat, still a little hot. There's a little sliver of daylight left, I'd say, at this point. You've got the just creeping down because you guys have been traveling all day. Plus, you had the little, dodge the quicksand, you dodge these crocodiles. But in the distance, as you're crossing over and you're going through here and walking through the swamps, you actually can see, as Shaka had described, that Jakata, the queen and the leader of their tribe, because it's a matriarchal society or tribe where the women rule. So you see the healing flower in the distance, as they had described. Or actually, I should say perception roll. Give me a perception. I'll tell you if you see this damn flower. Give me a perception, Rin. See how close you have to get before you see the flower.
We're just gonna roll normal.
Yep.
Then... Whoa, 24.
All right, so you can, Bert, this thing, this flower is beautiful. I mean, but it's a very large flower, you notice. They describe it as a flower. Now you can see why he said you can't pick it and just walk away with it. You're going to have to do what you have to do. It takes a few hours, but you're going to have to, try to get the essence, which is like almost the sap, out of this very large flower. And it's actually glowing with a white and a radiance light that almost like, even from this distance, it seems to kind of not push back like the ominous feeling, but it's a little bit of a comforting warmth of a feeling that you get just looking at this thing that's emanating light in the swamp. Now, Bert has seen this. This is a good, he saw it really far away at the 24. This thing, from Bert's perspective, is a good, I'd say, half a mile away at this point. What do you want to do? Do you?
Is that it? Is that the flower?
Well, you haven't seen it. Bert has seen it. It would be up.
So it would be. Tell us yet.
Yeah, she didn't tell us.
Okay, I'll report back. So it sounds. I'll report back.
What can you see? Why have you stopped?
We're sorry. How far away is it again?
I'd say about half a mile.
We're half a mile away. We're the flower. It's real.
Where can you see it?
And then just continuing on from straight ahead.
Is your falcon talking to you?
Reporting back what he can.
All right, I'll let him know. I quietly creep back to the others. It's half a mile away, Rory. Rin's bird's seen it. What do you want to do?
Keep an eye out for this monster of stone.
I'll let her know. Do you want us to keep going? It's getting a bit close to dark. Forward.
Well,
What do you want to do?
I say that we should keep those blindfolds around our neck, be ready to pull them up.
So you want to go ahead then? It's getting close to dark.
Well, it'll take 2 hours to drain the sap. If we have blindfolds on anyway, it won't really matter, will it?
Dark doesn't bother me.
So a bit of advice. I've never fought a Medusa or a basilisk or anything of that nature, but I've heard stories. It might be in our best interest to try and fight the thing blindfolded if it comes to that. Better to have a chance of being torn apart, stabbed, or otherwise rended limb from limb than being turned to stone, I'll tell you that.
How do you know?
Stone, don't you have a shiny one?
I do. I'll be using that.
How are we going to utilize that, or who should?
Good question. Perhaps I should give it to Rin, because if Rin can't shoot a bow blindfolded, then that may be a way that she can help.
If she's got it at the front and somehow that works, would it be good that we were kind of somehow attached to her to keep following her and let her lead us, or not?
I'm not
You're not. I'm moved back to the group.
Definitely. She'll definitely want to come to join the rest of the group, because I'm thinking of how helpful it is to be alone with this type of situation.
Yeah, stay in proximity.
So should we be
Okay,
tied
so
together?
in that case,
or
yeah.
You want me to go out front with it, or do you want to?
Well, I figured those of us that can whack away should whack away with it, be it sword, fist, feet, or axe.
May I have an opportunity to, before we begin hacking at the plant, I'd like to do a detect magic.
Oh, yes,
We're still half a mile away.
I might hack the monster, my friend, but of course, yes, let's do your due diligence before we extract anything from this plant.
Actually, I think Aiza has a good question. Are we even sure it's not the plant that turns you to stone? Do we know if it's a separate creature?
Tony, should I make a history check or some other check? All right, actually,
Yes, you can go ahead and make a history check for that.
I'm going to turn to Aize, and then I remember something about Dimitri knowing things about alchemy, and so I look to him as well. Perhaps those guys want to make rolls.
Alchemy. So if Dimitri does it, he's going to get advantage because he knows alchemy and plants. Whoever has the
a little
alchemy.
time to produce the tools that I need. About an hour, and then I can properly.
I think this is just a knowledge check.
No,
just a general, just general
Just
knowledge.
to understand what it is. Okay.
Yeah, you're just getting advantage.
Extract the stuff.
No.
No.
Okay. Then yes, of course I.
Trying to work out whether or not the plant or a separate creature is what might be causing people to turn to stone.
Oh, you think it's a plant? Oh,
if it's the plant itself that we're trying to extract it from, or is it a separate creature?
Just roll your whatever you think for what you want to use that you think would give you the best chance for that knowledge. You can do history. You can do that would probably work the best. Survival.
Alchemist tools or alchemist supplies, or just
you can get advantage. You're getting advantage. You're getting advantage.
Oh, nice.
What did you roll?
3.
All right. You don't know what this plant is because this island has just appeared. It's it appears and disappears. That it's legendary. It's mysterious. Whatever. So you don't exactly know, but what you do know is from all of your experience and all your knowledge, any plant that would be able to cause petrification would require some kind of refining process. It wouldn't be something that could be done just from touching the plant, even if it was going to be used. It would require additional ingredients to be able to do that. So you highly doubt that it's something that could cause the plant itself could cause you to be petrified or something like that.
I don't believe it's the plant. I say what you just said.
Okay.
But with a kind of Eastern European accent.
So perhaps we make our way to the plant. If it seems safe, form a perimeter. Someone drains.
Keep an eye out for this creature.
But at the same time, don't keep an eye out, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I only have one eye.
That wasn't a slight to you. Another bad joke. I'm on a roll.
I just place my hand on Vorik's shoulder and I lead him, and I just like gently push him away, shaking my head.
Even though sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying. So, what do you want us to do then?
Well, I was originally going to have Bert scout out more, but now you guys have me spooked for him. Is this the best? Is our blindfolding our option? Our game right now? Is that what we're doing?
I wouldn't blindfold us until we think that the thing is here, because it could be any variety of enemies that could appear.
But
I mean, can't you talk to animals, right? Bert doesn't have to be in a battle. He can be our eyes in the sky, and he can talk to you, and you can shout out orders.
Just remember, I'm gonna be nice. The way petrification works is if you're looking at something, then you're gonna be rolling. So if you see it, just be aware. And you have to that means you have to be within a certain amount of feet, though. So you know,
make a border. We should make a border around the plant, perhaps a camp, and make sure that we have plenty of light so that we can see anything coming into our area. Otherwise, we will be sitting birds.
Wow.
So, Rin, tell me if I misunderstood. You explained your ability as a beastmaster. I do know that this bird is very much a real animal and pet with a sentience to it, but can you not dispel and summon up other beasts when you wish to?
Yes. I
So
just don't want them to turn to stone.
so yes, and I'll put this out there to you with all due respect, because there are 7 of us in the party, Bert being one of them. But if Bert was our lookout, and in the worst case, if Bert was turned to stone as a lookout, you could dispel him and bring him back later, correct?
Yes.
And perhaps that would be good, because the rest of us can't really be dispelled.
Yeah. I admit I cannot do that for one of you.
Also, if she's carrying the shiny stone up front, she's got a bit of advantage. She can guide us then, I guess. If we maybe tie a rope to the back of her belt, we hold onto that rope, she leads the way. We have the blindfolds ready, and as soon as she gets close, we can put the blindfolds on. She can lead us, I guess, to a safe spot to fight them. Is that an option?
You can do that. I suppose the rope system 2 tugs means bring me the hell back.
I'll be up right next to you. I'm not going to let you on your own, little one. I'll be there.
All right. So it sounds like, Tony, that Ren and Sethreth, with ropes attached, waist to waist, and then back to the rest of the group, are going to advance towards the flower using perception, but leaning on Bert to really be looking actively, so that Bert's less worried about going face to face with something, whereas the rest of them might be looking more towards the ground level.
Well, Bert's probably high enough that anything, I would think, as long as he doesn't get it within a certain distance, depending on, you know, what's there, might be nothing. But if there was something, then probably Bert would be far enough away that it wouldn't be within the range of effect there. Although it would be really cool if, since y'all have these ropes on you, if both y'all did somehow something happen and they pulled back just carcassy husks, you know,
Yeah, that
just
would be
like pieces
hilarious.
of just like pieces of meat.
Like a 2-sentence horror story type.
Yeah, like a
Like that movie, The
bloody pieces of meat, you know, clinging.
Remember the movie The Mist?
Oh yeah, I saw
I
that.
love that movie.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Brutal movie. Brutal.
So all right, so y'all make your way towards and Bert is flying. Give me another perception roll with Bert. Average,
Come on,
you know, no disadvantage, just normal.
We need
So-
Tell me what you got.
All right, let's see what Bert sees.
Oh,
Oh wait, I didn't roll anything.
I thought I saw something else.
Whoa, what do we see?
I'm like, what did I
I
do?
saw Dimitri's roll from earlier.
Let's be optimistic.
Hey, 15's good.
That's all right.
All right.
That's not
So
bad.
you're
He has advantage. You can roll again.
Oh yes, you have advantage.
Does Bert get advantage?
no Bert, no, it just balances out. So he just balances out. So
Oh, because
Yeah.
I'd be getting disadvantages normally. Okay.
all right, so
I'll take
you
Okay.
what Bert sees is he sees this green, nasty, just matted creature. And give me, since you can see it, give me a survival check.
For
You
Rin or
get
Bert?
for
Okay,
Rin, because you're able to see it. Sethreth can't see it, but it's this green matted creature with long hair, claws at the end, drooling, looking disgusting, and it's walking near the flower.
Oh,
What am I
great.
rolling? Oh,
Survival. You do it, Rin. Roll a 20. You can do it. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, she crit. All right,
With the
so
addition, it is 20.
you instantly recognize your knowledge as a ranger has brought you through many areas before you got here. You know, you're not greatly experienced, but you're experienced enough to know what this is. It's a troll that you see walking near the flower up there. So what do you want to do? It has not, in fact, wait a minute, you were stealthing and you had rolled a what for your stealth?
My stuff had to
That was
scroll.
a while ago.
Let me scroll up a little.
Still. She rolled a 17.
All right, so your stealth is not going to notice you because its passive perception is definitely not that. So
And
it
I
does.
rolled a stealth back then as well, and I'm on with 13, and I'm pretty close to her.
All right, so hold on. I'll tell you if it notices.
I'll probably just stuffed it through once.
See if it notices Sethreth.
That was
Here,
rolled
I'll just
when we
I'll just roll perception with it real quick. What? Oh, it figures. Now I get the high roll. All right. Well, we'll just say I'll take the 14 because I'm at disadvantage too. So 14. So it does not notice Rin, but it does notice Sethreth from a distance. Now you're a good while away. It's going to take a good 2 rounds to get there. It's like at least, I'd say 60, 70 feet away from you. But it does, it starts arching its nose up. It's more to say it smells you.
Oh, come on. I showered 2 months ago.
Really smell? Yeah, meat. And it begins to walk towards the direction of the smell. And here, we're going to put the live cam on now.
I think it's seen us. What is it? Do I recognize it? Can I do a survival? 18, do I recognize what it is as well?
Yes, you recognize that it's a troll.
Does that tell me what type of troll, or is it just a standard troll?
We'll just say it's a standard swamp troll. It doesn't have anything, you know it's nothing particularly different about it. Your roll was pretty much holds the standard stuff apply to this troll.
Under my breath to Rin, I'm like, look, I don't have much experience with trolls, but they don't turn people to stone, do they?
Well, maybe they were wrong. Maybe there's nothing here and it's all safe and your DM is, everything is fine. And it's going to be a happy day.
Do you know Rin?
I cast Fireball.
Shots fireball. Right near the plant? Near the plant?
Yeah, perfect. No,
Yeah,
I don't
burn
think he
that
has
plant.
fireball.
2 birds with 1 stone right there. Woo!
I'm the wizard, and I don't have fireball, so
Do you really cast fireball? Do you really do it?
fire?
No, I don't have it.
you can't.
I know
Would my
you.
survival roll of 18 be enough to know that we need fire to stop them regenerating?
Give me another survival roll, and depending on
Would it be a nature check for understanding
check.
animals?
That's a nature check, Tony. For
oh,
monsters.
okay, we'll do nature or survival. It doesn't, whatever. But yeah, we'll do give me nature,
May I
and
do a nature check as well, please?
yes. And anybody can want to do a nature check to know a troll. That's fine. I'll let people
Over
do
my
it.
shoulder, I'll yell out to everyone it's a troll.
Only one person needs to pass it though to know, because they can just yell, let the party know.
It's a troll! They've got a troll!
It's a troll.
They've got a cave troll.
They've got a cave troll.
So we've
Okay.
got Aize, are you going to be rolling an advantage with yours?
Not for nature. I got a 6 on my
Okay.
nature check.
So the highest so far is my nature check of 17.
So you might want to share your information about the troll's vulnerabilities.
Yep, if I pass. What do I have to roll to pass that?
Well, you rolled a 17.
You,
Right.
you won. You already got it.
Oh, okay. So
We're just waiting for Tony.
yeah, DM
Right.
missed in action.
So, what are you're going at? What are you doing? I'm sorry, Okay.
So we all rolled nature to see if any of us knew what the weaknesses and strengths are of the troll. The highest roll is a 17. That's me.
All right. So Jack, you know that fire will stop the regenerative properties of a troll.
Okay. So I go, it's a troll. We've had them on the borders. The only way you can stop them from regenerating is you need to follow it up with some fire. Get them burning. I have some oil and some torches. If you keep it busy, I'll start getting it out. Unless anyone else has got oil and torches.
I think since it's night, I'm already using my hooded lamp. My hooded lantern.
Okay. So I can chuck oil at it, and when it smashes, chuck a torch.
Ooh.
In 5th edition, is it 50-50 whether or not it lights? Or...
Don't throw the oil at me.
Not you, you goose.
I'm holding it.
And then you've got to do a roll to see if it lights. Isn't that how it works?
Well, so I think that we'll be leading into an initiative situation, Tony.
Yeah.
Or is this
Yep.
thing
Well, that's what I was
pretty-
waiting for. Are y'all going to try to attack this thing? I mean, it's far.
Yeah.
It's pretty far away. It's like 70, good
Right.
70. 2 or 3 rounds. If you wanted to flee, it looks like you probably could get away.
So 60 feet with a dash is 1 round.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say it's 2 rounds. Just say it's 2 rounds away. You
Which
have
is
time to
way
flee.
over.
Whatever. Just you have time to flee.
That's time
Okay,
for Rin to
100.
fire arrows. So
Yeah.
I'm off with that. It's a troll, man. Let's take it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's next
I'll
to
get,
the flower.
so I'll use that time when we're moving forward to get oil flasks. Let me check. I think I got 1 or 2.
Because now it is moving towards you, but it's like sniffing, so it's kind of moving slow. Like has to catch the scent and then keeps taking another foot. So it's moving, but it hasn't seen y'all as of yet. But it knows the smell. It knows something is there. Meat.
I have
And it's-
2 oil. I have 2 oil flasks. So if anyone else wants to throw one, if needed, maybe hold on to one. And I have a couple torches too, I think.
So to metagame slightly there, Jack, we can hack and slash him until he goes down and then put all the oil on him after. So we don't have to lead with it.
Yeah, especially with Rin being still stealthing, she could really climb up a tree and just help. With
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty
Organization.
sure when you set someone alight with oil, it lasts for a fair few rounds. It's
Not
ongoing.
necessarily.
Is it 4 rounds or something?
Tony? I don't think so. I think
Two,
it's
it's
just,
2 rounds away. It's 6 seconds per round.
I'll
So
Google it.
it's like 12
he's
seconds
talking
away.
he's talking about how long oil light lasts. I believe it's no more than like 1 round.
Yeah, it's like 1 round, and then after that, it becomes, I think, a difficult terrain. Afterwards, like the area of effect, because it's like burning and hot. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, luckily the combat will happen next week, so we can do some research.
Well, wait, hold on. There's
yeah, this is
there's something that is gonna happen. The stuff goes on. So let's just start out with. So y'all are going into combat
2
here,
rounds. It burns for 2 rounds.
right? So it's Ayize's turn. What do you want to do, Ayize?
I will move to close range with the troll. But if I move, well, I guess I'm going first.
Let me show
Alright.
you where you're at, Ayize, so you know where you're at too, because you're in the back here. So I switched the cam for you. I'll put it on you. This is you right here. And then the troll is all the way over there. I'm not going to even move him for 1 round. We're going to say that's his round it's taking to get to you. So he's just going to stay where he is for right
I
now.
move
But
30 feet. How close am I to the troll?
5, 10, 15. You would be about, I'd say, about 40 feet away.
Okay, I'll just move 30 feet. I will take as my action. I will ready a throwing knife because I am anticipating someone else engaging it first. And for my bonus action, I am casting Dragon Breath on myself and setting it to fire.
All right.
Nice.
So as you're doing that, this thing is meat. And then the troll kind of like sniffs the air again. Now you don't, everybody give me an insight roll and let me know if you score 9 above. Anybody, yeah, because y'all can see the troll. 9 or above, give me insight.
Tony, I have a strong suspicion that this other creature is around here somewhere. Can I get advantage on that presumption?
I hate you, Eric.
I'm guessing. I'm looking.
You
for him
shut
to
up
react-
and stop ruining my surprise.
No, this is a fair guess, right? I don't think it's something you've set up. If he's sniffing, I feel like he's probably sniffing the thing we're afraid of as well.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll give you advantage on that.
All right. Thanks, bud.
Oh,
You
everybody,
got 21.
I want y'all to get it anyway. I've set it kind of low anyway. 9 or above. So do you get it?
Yeah. We've all pretty much, all of us except one got it.
All right. So as a troll sniffing, you could see there's if you knew what fear was for this creature, the sense of fear, if you could tell, that's what's coming over its face. And as it turns, it's looking in an opposite direction that y'all look. Y'all looking at it, but it turns its head to like the right. And at that moment,
Yeah, to switch back to the other screen.
I was gonna, I should say it where everybody rolls to see which direction they were looking. We'll worry about that next week. We'll roll to see if you were looking that way. But for the troll, it was looking that way, and it instantly, this troll, and it just turns to stone, like right in front of the plant, and from there, coming the trolls up. He's turned the stone right there in front of the plant, and what you see coming
Tony,
to
you have
the
to change the map a little bit for us to see that.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
here it is. This is what you see, staring down, coming out of the fog, and staring, kind of at the distance at you. And it's a you'll have to roll next week to find out what it is, but it doesn't look friendly. It looks very, very dangerous, and you should be able to see that in just a moment. I put together.
Don't worry, we'll be all right. That crocodile's about to eat it. We'll be fine.
Why is it not? There it is. There it is. And you can see it. Here, I'll give you an even better shot, because that only shows you guys kind of like facing at it with the crocodiles. But here it is. This is what you see. This big creature comes hulking out of the water. It's almost in the water and lifts itself up.
Oh, shit.
And this is what you see in the swamp, preparing, standing in front, coming right to the troll. And you don't see that, but that's what you see at a moment. And we'll see if you are looking at it in the eye when it came and blah 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 came aboard the shore. And we'll have to find out if anybody is turned to stone, but you won't get to find out till next week to find out what this beautiful miniature is. That miniature is from Dwarven Forge, and you won't get to find out till next week what happens to this group. Do they survive? Do they die? Do they get turned to stone? Will they make it out of the swamp? We will find out next Sunday at 7 o'clock for episode 4